Can't do that. I'd have to install the macro on everybody's thing.
And you too would have to install the macro, folks.
Every time. Empty face bombs.
We are so good at our intros here at Proficiency Bonus. The producer was streaming before the countdown, and I had my mic muted, so you could probably hear everything the players were saying, so you're probably really confused about what was going on. But it's that kind of night, folks. Welcome to episode 77 of Storm King's Thunder. My name is Michael, your humble and merciful dungeon master and host, who is not very good at producing this stuff, so I apologize in advance. But I'm going to take you right over to our players so they can all say hello. I think Zos is away from keyboard just right now. I think she's still toasting her bread and making a sandwich. There she is. She has returned. Just in the nick of time to do some mimicking and dancing while we do some announcements to start off tonight. Well, welcome everybody. We're so glad that you're tuned in. Just a couple quick shout outs and thank yous to some of our affiliates and partners, Twitch, Streamlabs, Many Sided Dice, and Team MZ. We'll just throw out a big thank you for all of your support. Also, a couple quick announcements. Not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday will be the debut of a new show here on Proficiency Bonus called Dirty 20. I will be DMing around a live table with a couple of brand new players, so it's going to be really exciting, so you're going to not want to miss that. We're going to have some unlocking giveaways that night, so that means the more people that we have watching, the more people that we have donate bits and subscribe that night, we'll unlock some giveaways throughout the night. So make sure you guys hang out with us, tune in and check that out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We also have on July 13th a big birthday of horrors as we get closer and closer to Proficiency Bonus's 2-year birthday. Basically, man, we're gonna be celebrating 2 years here really soon, guys, so that's awesome. Don't forget that we are only 6 followers away from 500. So if you are tuning in for the first time tonight and you haven't hit that follow button, please do. It doesn't cost you anything, and it makes us feel really good about ourselves. I don't know. It's just something about that, right, guys? I don't. Molfin needs his shroud. That look was just frightening. So
follow us, or I'll follow you.
And don't forget, also visit our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and catch all of our streaming content from our programs. So make sure you do that as well. A couple things. I think I got through everything that I wanted to announce. We do have a quick recap from last week as our party was able to basically cause a bit of confusion between the fire giants and the drow, who came to deliver the fire elemental dawn titan called Majera to the fire giants to power their magical forge so that they could continue their plan to ascend basically the ranks of favor within the giant deities. Upon seeing the drow and the fire giant, our party jumped into motion very quickly. Molfin was able to turn the fire giant against the drow, and a big battle ensued with 3 groups. Basically, our party, the fire giants, and the drow all kind of combating with one another. At the end of the battle, our party now has possession of a very warm flask, which they believe Majera the Dawn Titan to be inside. It seems that Rild and Callista were able to put down their uncle and thwart their plans to form this alliance with these fire giants. Our party, upon defeating the drow, made their way back up out of Iron Slag and have now met back at the Dragon Cult airship, in which they were all scryed on and communicated with by their sponsor, Old Snarl, the famous red dragon of the north. who seems fitting that should be right for the characters, our players, our heroes, to take Iron Slag and claim it for Old Snarl. And that's where we're gonna pick up tonight, folks. And so the story is told. Adventurers, tonight is in your hands. What do you guys like to do? Because I don't think you guys didn't like bed down or anything. You guys hadn't taken a rest or anything at the end of last time, I don't think. I think you guys were still kind of talking about what to do when Klauth was speaking with all of you. And Ashlyn was convinced it was her deity.
Until
we said it was a dragon.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, never mind.
That's where we ended it, yeah. So what would you guys like to do?
Not do that.
Back to Everlund, then.
Didn't, you know...
Yeah, I think that was going to be the waypoint, and then make our way to Clarion. Stop there, reply.
When we went to that place, like in the mountains at the end of the world, didn't they tell us we were supposed to go get a conch?
Yes, we have
save the world.
We have a beacon to go visit a giant, and Molfin's gonna point where the gnome positioning satellite tells him the Countess Sinceri is. Sure. Yes, we to attack a flying castle, this way.
But I mean, maybe more than one of the giants have these things, and we've found a shortcut.
He's got a. Where were we supposed to take that, Lachlan? Do you remember?
Well, I think that it teleport. They said something about teleportation. I'm like pulling parchment out of my bag and like, oh no, this one's like a recipe. Throw that one.
Lachlan,
so it's a phone number.
Lachlan, you do remember that one of the answers to the questions when you guys were talking to the Oracle was, but here's the answer that you did receive. It said, find a magic conch of the storm giant king Hecaton. Use it to visit Hecaton's court and root out the evil therein. So your teleportation idea seems to be pretty on point.
Pretty legit.
Yep.
Oh. Why don't we hold on to it for now? Let's not teleport our way into a jump thing without backup.
Yeah, we're always cautious. That's our thing.
Well, we should be.
Especially now that we seem to have the Dawn Titan in our possession.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go in there all half-brained, it's liable that just another group of giants will end up with the thing.
I would like to give it to Clarion.
So
from there, we can figure out what our plan is with the conch and where it's going to take.
Callista, there's like a wind that's making it hard for me to hear you.
Yeah, for some reason.
I'm getting a lot of
okay,
hang on.
Christy, I was gonna change.
Hang on,
but I'm
sorry.
on Central, so I'm not sure what server. I'm still getting green from server, so I'm not sure.
Is that better?
The wind's still howling.
Yeah, it's still howling a little bit.
Weird.
Yeah, let me.
Hang on.
I can try a different one.
Sorry, folks. Don't mind us as we correct our technical difficulties.
We'll get it set.
Who are we if we don't have all kinds of technical issues?
Is it better now?
Maybe not.
Let me try.
Really? Because I turned off all my fans. I don't know what's going on.
Let me try. I'm gonna.
Well, no, I'm not hearing the wind. It's just like cut.
Hey.
Mike picking up the wind, or?
I don't know.
No,
it's worse now.
The wind was just Lachlan not wanting to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Bad bandwidth.
I changed the east and it made it worse, so I'm going to go back to central. see if that works. All right.
Testing.
That was
hey.
good.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just need to get closer to my
As soon as
mic.
you said okay, it went robot again.
God damn it.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Hmm.
Could be Discord, but
Yeah.
ooh.
It's those giants, is what it is.
Giants. It's all their fault.
Quit messing with my mic.
Stop it. It's old Snarl.
We need to go to Hecaton's court and
No, it's all the iron in this mountain. If the further we get away from it, the better she'll sound.
Probably.
and we're sure we don't want to like kind of get in there, get this conch to just keep it with us, and then we can use it when we need it, or
Get in where?
Jasper kind of chimes in. I agree with him. Should go get it and take everything else while we're at it.
Jasper, I don't know if your opinion means a lot to these guys yet.
What do I care?
How do we know he's not working for Klaus?
He's kind of.
I mean, we're working for Klaus.
He shifts his hat a little bit and he's like, Klaus! Gesundheit!
Dwarves.
No.
So what are we doing?
I missed that, but I don't.
Apparently the dwarf doesn't know who Klaus is.
Okay.
Gesundheit.
Molfin's gonna look at Callista. Pull out a small piece of chalk. So, to Everlund then.
Are there any trees around us?
Oh yeah,
Is
you
this
guys
thing
are.
made of
Yeah,
wood?
you guys made your way into a small
Okay.
clearing area. There's trees all around. Yeah, this is.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch one of them and make sure that I concentrate on like a bigger one that's by this airship, so we can come back.
Okay, perfect. How does that work? Does that just, as long as you spend so much time with it,
As long as I can see the tree or touch the tree, it says it's either way. If I can spend time around a tree, like a big tree area, I can focus on one
okay.
and I can go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you spend some time focusing on a very large, I would say, since this is kind of northern part of Faerun, it's probably a massive pine tree of some sort that reaches way up into the sky. Still, I mean, this part of Faerun is still very cold.
Yeah. And we could just tell these guys to stay at the airship and wait for us. We'll be gone for like a day and a half. Because we're going to Everlund first,
Oh,
2
that's
days?
the plan.
3 days?
Okay.
and then go to
We're
Clarion and then come back.
Hey, you
Collect
can
Get the
supplies.
you
conch,
can all go to
right?
Everlund. I'm going back inside. I'm getting my treasure.
Right now, you can't wait 3 days?
Hey, the Duke is down. I'll take it myself.
He could be our man on the inside.
I could.
He already was. It required us to get him out.
I could have gotten out myself, mind you.
I like this guy's confidence.
Could you really, though?
I was still working my angle, you see.
From inside the prison.
You know, I was gonna get out.
Mm-hmm.
I was interrupted.
More like we gave you the opportunity and Lachlan opened the lock for you. So I didn't see you do much to get yourself out.
You know? He just points towards you. Then he
Yes.
runs his hand through his beard a couple times and goes, shifts his hat a little bit. Looks over at Molfin. Now I see why you wear that thing. And then he turns around and he starts walking away.
And with that, Molfin will then cast teleportation circle.
All right. So does this happen like instantaneously?
Takes a
One round.
minute.
So it takes 1 minute as Molfin starts tracing the circle out on the ground, and then it opens up into a 10-foot portal.
All right. So you guys, you watch as Molfin kind of uses his staff to mark these arcane runes in a 10-foot circle, and you guys all kind of seem to get close within these runes. You can hear him casting these incantations, and you watch as this divine, this more like a blue glowish light kind of emerges around all of you. And you get that similar sensation that you had when you traveled through this before. It's kind of like, the Millennium Falcon going through light speed, You see all these like lights and flashiness. And you're going to the Everlund Circle, is that correct?
Yep.
All right.
Right in, what was it, Moonglow Tower, I think it is?
Yeah, do we remember what time of day it was? Was it early
I
morning?
think it was still fairly,
early morning, afternoon.
Evening, like, maybe lunchtime at the latest.
Yeah, I thought it was like around.
Yeah.
Like around noon.
Yeah, because we
That's
took
why-
one long rest, we woke up, and then the battle.
Yeah. So it's probably
Okay. Cool. So you guys end up in a windowless chamber as this flash of light just reflects off of this circular room that you guys end up in. You can see there is a desk alongside the left wall, left side of the circular wall. It's kind of a rounded desk, almost makes it look like it just fits kind of evenly on the side. And as you guys appear, you hear, "Ah!" And somebody like falls out of a chair. It seemed like they were leaning their feet up against the desk and have completely were caught off guard by you guys coming in, and the chair clatters onto the floor and they just roll across a couple times. And he shakes his head and looks up at you. Hello, welcome back. You can see it's just it's one of the mages that you guys have seen before. You probably didn't get introduced to this particular mage, but it looks like he's just one of the ones that's in charge of like manning the circle during the day. Wait. What brings you to Moongleam Tower?
Just passing through, collecting supplies and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Clarion will probably want to see you.
Wonderful. Suppose should deal with that first.
This way. And he leads you downstairs. Are you going in full non-disguise, Molfin?
Molfin doesn't have disguise.
Oh, you don't have disguise.
Nope.
Okay. So you guys are being led down the
He doesn't?
stairs.
No. Never took disguise.
Does anyone else want to do anything?
Hang on.
I don't know. I got nothing.
You don't got nothing?
I know you. When you get attacked for
I don't think I have anything that I could give you because I don't have. Yep, I don't.
I could try to use silent image to make a fake.
Oh,
Molfin.
did my dad stay back with the airship?
Did you want him to stay back with the airship? Or did you want him to come with you?
He
He would do
what do
whatever
you guys-
Callista wanted him to do.
What do you guys think? Because if he stays there, we would have the hat of disguise. He could like chill for a bit, 3 to 4 days tops, or he comes with us.
Where is he safer?
He's probably safer there too, right?
See, and I was thinking
You guys-
he'd be safer with us.
You guys
but-
remember Moongleam Tower is very tall, but it's kind of tight in the interior.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what my concern is.
So he looks like
him
a
getting-
person, but he's much bigger, really.
Yeah, he might get busted easier in this confined space.
Oh yeah.
No, it falls on Callista then. Would Callista have brought her daddy with her?
She wants to, but she also knows like where Moongleam Tower is and how that. Is it possible? Could he fit with my memory before we get here? Like,
Polymorph him.
It's tight. I mean, he could fit, but if like let's say he's standing near a doorway and one of the Harpers like comes in to talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna
Feels
bump
like a
into
spider
something. Yeah, just
Would he be comfortable waiting like 3 to 4 days for us to come back?
he would do whatever you would ask him to do. I mean,
Okay, I think I'd
Wait
do
in
that.
the
I think I'd
ground.
want him to like just keep an eye on these cultists. Maybe don't stay with them, but just keep an eye on them, and they'll be back in a few days.
oh, perfect. I will keep a good eye on them, my dear. You can trust me. I will.
Stay away from Kella.
Yeah, she's mine. Don't kill her. I mean, if you have to, you have to. But like, I would prefer it if I did,
Why on earth would I kill her?
just in case, you know.
Just. Wait, you've grown up.
I guess so. Do you mind if we have the hat back? Are you gonna be okay?
That's fine with me, dear. I just do they all know about me?
Good point.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it, but I don't know if they will be, but you know, it's worth a shot.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, before we go, I will basically do an intimidating presence on all of them and telling them to like, if you touch him, you're all dead.
Okay, go ahead and make an intimidation check for us.
I would
Can
like
Molfin
to
stand
use...
looking creepily by to assist?
Sure. And at this exact moment, as Molfin is standing there, his shroud is flapping in this light breeze. You can see over his shoulder this wraith just starts coming out of the local the forest around and starts going, and you can see it's got all these like other ghost specters with it. Like, is it made this giant army, and it's like,
Oh jeez.
and they are surrounding the boat, just going.
Oh jeez. All right, so that's 17 with advantage.
Delphine says, looks around, turns like all around the boat. Yes, yes, ma'am.
We'll be back in 3 to 4 days tops.
Excellent, no trouble here.
I kind of just give one final glare at Killa before I hug my dad goodbye. And hand Molfin the hat.
Molfin gets a hat. You hear Delphine say, "Nice off. Get me a drink. A really big one."
So apparently before Molfin casts in, Molfin will spend a little time attuning to it.
Okay.
And
then we go.
then we go. And Molfin will
Sorry,
make
I wasn't sure if he was able to come with us.
Do you have to attune to a hat of disguise?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Are you?
You think
Yeah.
so?
Probably. Yeah,
I looked it
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Yeah. So Molfin's able to attune. So we retcon a little bit of that as Molfin.
Yeah, sorry.
teleports.
I
you
just
guys.
see like the big ass Ryle choking. I'm like, oh wait.
So what do you look like in your disguise, Molfin, as you are
So,
leading the way in Moongleam Tower?
basically the only thing Molfin's going to change is basically remove the shroud and put his Harper pin on the black, the same like funeral robes he was wearing. The black robes with sort of like almost like a brushed gold, I guess I'll call it embroidery on it.
Okay.
But not just he's got the Harper pin front and center at the top and no shroud. You all see the beard. You see Molfin the second in black robes, basically.
Yeah, Molfin, the Molfin that you haven't seen in a little while. He's leading you down the stairs and to the familiar office room that you guys were brought to before. You can see that several of the Tressum, the cats with wings, are prancing about inside the office, jumping on his desk, knocking papers off of them. One of them is scratching at the door frame, just because that's what cats do. Evil cat. See? Perfect timing. You came right in, right as I was describing the stuff that you do, cat. See? You can see one of them's on top of the back of Crowan's chair, and he kind of notices you all walk in. Molfin, you're back.
For a brief moment, we are still embroiled in the midst of everything, but...
You've upgraded your wardrobe.
Yes, I had a funeral to go to, so...
Oh, was it someone that you knew? Were you close to them?
Some were closer, but they were a good
Blew 'em
ally.
up.
So, how did...
Glare over his shoulder.
He kind of looks towards all of you. So, he stands up, closes a book, puts it down on his desk, kind of walks around and leans on the desk a little bit. You can see he's wearing that familiar cloak that has all those patches on it. You can see his staff is kind of leaning up behind his desk on a very large packed bookcase. It's behind his desk. So what news have you?
So, where to begin? We have... seemingly, we have apparently defeated one of the giant lords.
You have?
Yes.
Which one?
A duke in Ironslag.
Ironslag? Huh. Well, that place
Not the
has...
one we were aiming for, but...
Not the one you were aiming for. Which one were you aiming for?
The Countess Sunsarai.
Oh,
Cloud giant.
Yeah, Duke Zalto instead.
Duke
Zaldo, that was his name. Thank you, Lachlan.
Duke Zalto. Huh. Well, that's strange. I hadn't heard of anyone being in Ironslag in thousands of years.
It seems they were attempting to find a way to rekindle their forge, but he is no longer a problem. We were in need of supplies, so figured this was the quickest way back through.
Fair enough. What supplies are you in need of?
Oh, we are just going down to hit the stores, sell off some of the minor items we found, and pick up some healing potions. Minor things to aid us in our journey.
Oh, sure. I've just been struggling to just find more information I can, I tell you, it's mysterious, all this stuff that's going on. Just wish I knew who was pulling the punches and pulling the strings. But if you took out Duke Zalto, you said of Ironslag, fire giants, ugh. Well, that's quite an accomplishment.
It's something we had to deal with together, but we are still in the processes of making our way to eventually deal with the Storm King. Not to mention Klauth, but...
Klauth?
Yes.
You've had run-ins with the great red worm of the north?
Unfortunately.
Yes, he seems to have taken an interest in us.
Oh, no. How much of an interest?
He seems to think he's sponsoring us with an airship.
He gifted you something?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You see almost like a smirk form on his face. And he looks to you, Molfin. And he's like, huh. This is unheard of. I don't think I've ever heard of Old Snarl taking this kind of interest in a group before. Not as one to gift them something, or, as you say, Callista, sponsor someone. He's kind of...
It seems he thinks we can do something to deal with this giant problem, so... And as you had told us during our previous visit here, the giants and dragons do not quite see eye to eye. So if we keep dealing with giant lords, it will make his position better, it seems he feels. Or one would assume.
Absolutely, it makes perfect sense. Huh.
But we mean to go up, contact a couple of our other allies while we're in town and see about continuing on our issues to deal with these giants.
So where are you planning to go to next?
Well, we are to pick up our airship, and then we have yet to decide our next movements. Suppose it depends on how it goes with the attempts to contact our allies while we're here. But we should be coming back through to utilize the transportation circles, so if you'd like, I can stop and give you an update on our way out.
You know, I would very much like that.
Can I insight check this guy?
Sure. He is, I mean, from what you can tell, honest and forthright with everything that he's talking about. You have a feeling that the talking about old Snarl and stuff, and his little smirk and smile, he has a feeling like you guys are an in to something greater in the future. As if maybe
like he could use us somehow.
Could use you to finally put a dent in the reputation of old Snarl or something of that sorts.
Okay.
Molfin's going to give a little bow and just start making his way out of the tower if Groen doesn't stop him.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to stop you. Seems to be quite pleased to see you and at least get some type of report. And you guys can make your way back out of Moongleam Tower, out of the streets of Everlund. Which, if you remember, were it's definitely no Waterdeep. It's probably only about the size of one of the wards in Waterdeep, basically. So, it's still kind of compacted, city feel, but it's just not as, not like what you come from being in Waterdeep. Let me see if I can find Everlund here. Let me, drag it back down here so I can move you guys back to the Everlund map so you guys can see what's going on, and so I can show everybody on Twitch land. Good old Everlund. Here, I'm going to take you guys over there. You should be able to see the Everlund map. You guys got a visual on the map now?
Yep.
Remember this number, this area right here, this interesting shamrock-looking shape up at the top. That was the Moongleam Tower, the Harper's residence. That has several floors. The stone itself is kind of like black obsidian that just reaches up towards the sky.
As we get outside, Molfin's gonna stop Callista. Callista, I need a favor.
What's up?
Do you by chance have the ability to cast that locate object spell you used to track me down by my staff before?
Yes. What's up?
Can you focus on my hopper pin? Looks just like the one where his head goes right through it. It's just like this. Trying to see if it is within 1,000 feet.
Okay, I could try. I will do that.
My second should be arriving here if he's not already here.
Okay, I will cast spell.
What were your instructions that you gave to Molfin II? Again, was it
to obtain the item and then make his way to Everlund to meet us there.
Okay. Did you give him specific instructions on how to get to Everlund, or?
No, just to pick it up and get there as quickly, just whatever he could. I gave him extra money to pay for carriages, horses, whatever he needed to make the trip.
Okay, gotcha. So are you casting Detect Object? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. Yeah, locate object.
Locate object. You don't get a ping
Okay.
whenever you cast this spell to try to locate Molfin's staff. I believe is what you were trying to locate. Molfin the Second's staff.
Yeah.
Molfin, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, or
Okay.
survival. You could call it survival if you'd like to.
I'd rather intelligence, but it's DM's choice.
Go ahead and make it survival. I thought survival was based on intelligence based, but it might not.
No, survival's wisdom.
Wisdom, gotcha.
So you said survival check?
You go ahead and make it intelligence. I think this would be more based on your intelligence. Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
You're pretty good at that.
20.
Yeah, there's an at 20. You think Molfin II will be arriving soon, based on the amount of time that you guys spent, and especially if he's traveling from Carriage, from Daggerford all the way here. It's probably like a week's travel there, so you're good. It's gonna be close. He may not be here quite yet, but he may be coming soon. It's gonna be pretty close.
Oh, bloody hell. Should have taken longer at Iron Slag, I suppose.
we could take a day trip to Waterdeep. I've got a little bit of a package to pick up.
We need to head north to, well, suppose west-northwest, yeah. Best to deal with Clarion, but I think we could all use a little rest beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stuff and kind of unload the bag of holding a bit.
Okay. Yeah, you guys got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we gonna what is it? Are we gonna go to I don't know, medieval hotel basically and chill until Molfin II gets here, or?
Well, you guys could, and I can go up north I could go to Clarion by myself if you want, and you guys stay here and wait for people we're waiting for.
I have concerns of sending you alone to Clarion's.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Maybe she wants to be alone with Clarion.
Okay.
That's fine and well. We can always leave her alone once we know it's clear. Maybe best
can come
to.
with me. I'm not opposed to it. I'm just figuring we could get more done while we're waiting.
It may be best if we take a rest for this afternoon, do what little shopping we may need.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Have us all travel with you
Sure.
to Clarion's, and then if all is clear, we can leave you and whomever there, and if anyone to return faster to Everlund,
Right. Yeah.
I can take us back that way, as you can always follow
Come back.
with your own abilities afterwards, whereas I cannot get us to Clarion's without you.
Okay.
And, well, yes.
So we're going shopping?
Yes. Shopping, selling.
Shopping episode.
Excellent. I have something I need.
Okay.
But you are a cleric of Ilmater. You have no money or finance.
Got a little.
All right.
Just a little.
So we're going shopping.
Shopping.
Where you guys headed to?
I was just gonna look for anyone who could potentially enchant my armor for me and make it like +2 or +1, so I can have some more armor class.
Make a survival check for me.
Okay.
Sauce.
Yeah, I'd also like to look for a +2 armor. Should I do survival 2 or should I?
Yeah, go ahead. You can make a survival check as well.
Okay.
Survival.
You guys kind of go to the market area. you keep your ears open, eyes peeled. You're just looking all around, trying to hear if you hear anybody talking, because you guys know that you guys have been around long enough to know that magic items are not something that people normally just have sitting on the shelves. Waterdeep, there were a couple places, but it was very few
Still
and far between.
more, yeah, and Waterdeep's more regulated.
Yeah, and because this is kind of a bigger town, there may be some people that have them underground, but even with a 20 on a survival check, you guys hear no rumors of anybody that has anything or anybody that has any ability to enchant anything.
Okay.
And if they did, it would take like a ton of time and probably a lot of money.
Okay.
Money's probably not so that big of a deal for you
Money's
guys.
not the issue.
But the
time,
time
yeah.
is the issue. It would probably take a good amount of time to be able to enchant something like that.
Man.
I have a +2 breastplate.
Yeah, he does
Oh.
have that +2 breastplate you guys got from the giant ghost.
Yeah.
I think
Anybody wants to
Diana's
wear
the
it?
only one who could wear that.
Yeah.
Diana would probably be the only one that can wear it, yeah.
Diana's the one who needs it with my 14 armor class getting
Give
hit
it
by
to her.
everything.
I'll pull it out
Give
of my
it
bag
to
and
her.
blow the
Because
dust off
nothing
it.
rolls below.
You may want to
Thank
wash it
you.
a little.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you have a
I will
+2
take
magic
that.
breastplate. So,
Yay!
what's a breastplate normally do?
So breastplate is a 14 AC. The +2 makes it a 16.
So 16 AC.
Ooh.
You should have
Okay.
taken that a long time ago.
Yeah. Why didn't
I
we?
really should have.
So that raises you up from
I
the
didn't wanna be
14
greedy.
to the 16, and plus you carry a shield as well. So when
Yes,
you're using
okay.
your shield, your armor class should be 18 now. Correct?
Oh,
But I have a
nice.
-1 from my terrible dexterity.
Don't-
So it's
that
now
doesn't-
a 17.
Breastplate doesn't use dexterity. It's
breastplate
just a
doesn't
flat
use dex,
14.
So it's just a flat 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get it. It'll literally make you an 18.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So wearing this magic breastplate, your armor is 16. Your armor class is 16. When you're using your shield, you have an 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Which
Does the shield count as like a dexterity type thing, or is that also just like
nope,
plain
it's
armor?
just a +2
Nope.
armor bonus. Yep, but you have to be wielding it in your hand. Like you can't have like
Yes.
2 weapons out and then add that bonus. It only counts if you actually have it in your hand. And you're using it.
I always have it in my hand.
Yeah, that's- I kinda-
Diana only ever uses one thing.
Yeah, I would figure
Or her
you'd
hands.
use your mace and your shield. Pretty much is what I have.
Yeah.
What I kind of envision for you.
Wow, I have 18 armor now. I'm like Ashlyn, nothing can touch me.
Do we have anything else
It's about
laying around
time.
like this that we need to? Calista, you got that token, right? You got the.
Yes. We
okay.
haven't used it yet. We could. I don't know what we could use it for.
When you need a place to have whatever it does, right?
Well, what does it do exactly? It gives you like fire.
Gramps looked at it, right? No, the token that we found recently.
He's referring to the
Oh, the tree.
token that creates a tree.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Do
have
you
that. I thought you meant the big gem, fire gem thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that's the gem that we can utilize to enchant something with. I believe it was flame.
Yeah.
I think I have that marked down somewhere in here. Oh, and that
Michael,
new
I
breastplate
have.
looks remarkable, Diana.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to sell my old armor, my old scale mail that I got all decked out.
Yeah,
Who
no,
looks like they're harder to hit right now, Mr. DM, Callista or Diana?
as far as armor goes, Diana's
Diana.
definitely armored out. I mean, she's got the armor going on now. Callista doesn't wear a lot of armor, but
I have a studded leather armor.
you know she can turn into some pretty
Yeah.
beastly stuff.
Molfin's going to look at the two of them and just sort of look over at Ashlyn for a split second. Just say, it's not for you. You don't need it. And hold up his left hand and point to a ring on his finger. Assuming that Molfin II makes it here successfully,
Mm-hmm.
I will not have need of this ring anymore.
Okay.
It has done much to, well, make me more difficult to strike if either of you would care for it.
I could take it later. You can hold on to it until he gets back.
Well, that was my plan, no offense, but...
No, I'm taken.
Figure,
Yeah, that's fine.
assuming
not
he
in a
arrives,
rush.
I will probably ask for one of your assistants, but wanted to offer this to one of you.
Yeah, because meta knowledge, I'm at 14 AC. So. I have 6 bronze and obsidian sculptures worth 750 and 1 worth 1200 that I would like to get rid of because it's just weighing down our
In
bag.
our house. We could put them in our house.
You got that at like that.
That was a while ago.
shipwreck in the.
Yeah, there
when
was
you guys
some
were-
from the
when you
shipwreck
guys
and there
had-
was
yeah.
some
Shocky
from
fish.
from the Lich hideout.
Okay, so what?
There was 3 from the ship and 4 from the hideout.
Okay, so you take those and you find a kind of like a museum place that cherishes these relics and statues of this nature. And the curator of this place is delighted and actually throws you 250 extra gold pieces per object.
Holy crap! Okay. Let me math.
Because he says, "Oh my goodness, even Waterdeep doesn't have things like this."
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, these are amazing. And he's like holding the cheeks of the statues and stuff, and he starts like nuzzling his nose up against one, and he's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful."
Molfin's gonna lean over towards Lachlan a little bit. Must be part dwarf.
Get a nosebleed.
Yeah, he basically absolutely goes insane over these relics, these statues, these bronze statues in different forms. Some of them which could been lost for a very long time. But yeah,
Okay.
he's ecstatic. Like after he
great.
throws you the money and starts like taking these statues and stuff and moving them into some kind of back storage room to be cleaned up and things like that. Like he barely even like talks to you guys anymore because he's just so excited.
All right.
Wow.
So that's a chunk of money we just got. Not that we needed more, but I was just like unloading this bag.
Well, you know.
Oh, we also have while I'm there, because he's like a museum. We have this old paintings, like golden plated frames of old paintings. It doesn't say how many, but they look very expensive. They're of landscapes and battlefields.
We should keep at least one for
Where did you
Like-
guys? Do you remember where you guys picked those up?
after the melons and before,
After the
We-
melons.
After the melons.
and before we stole all those potions.
Yeah.
You guys got to keep better notes.
We just have this list of what's in the bag of
Yeah,
holding. We're like, where'd we get this?
Where'd we
I
get
don't
this?
know.
I think you guys still have stuff from Nightstone at the beginning.
Yeah, I think we do. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we
oh,
do.
yeah.
Go back to chapter 1 to find out even what.
We
half
have like
that
the cooking
crap
pots
was.
from Nightstone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my
I-
god,
have a
the cast iron
vacated
cooking pot
beehive.
for Moby's head.
Oh, these
Okay,
are-
so like, how many paintings do we have? We can keep one depending how many we
How
have.
many do you have? Do you remember?
It doesn't say; it just says old paintings.
Roll a d6 for me.
Well, here, MG, you roll the d6.
We'll leave it up
Uh-oh.
to the dice. Let's say, because you guys described it as paintings,
So we get
roll
2.
roll another
Two.
d6.
Oh.
'Cause
Ooh,
that's
we could get 7.
Hey, look at all these paintings we have.
Maybe you should roll this time.
Then
Chris.
you look at the
okay,
bottom, there's a
okay,
hole
okay.
in the bottom of the bag of holding.
Oh,
It's like, oh no.
These 2 paintings, guys.
Oh my
You
god.
have 2 paintings.
We have 1 landscape and 1 battlefield.
One landscape, one battlefield.
That's right.
So which one do you guys want to keep, the landscape or the battlefield?
Battlefield.
Yeah, that's kind of more our
Landscape.
style.
Okay, so I will sell the landscape.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
It's funny. how
Wow.
The dice just.
Like you don't know where
the
these.
dice just happened to.
Bag of holding. The bag of holding ate the other 5. It's fine.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They ate the other 5.
You think these golden antlers are worth anything? What the heck? We have a beehive. We literally have a vacated beehive.
They're golden colored. From the things we fought with the young Remoraz that had the like golden colored antlers.
Yes, I remember that now.
He gives
Do we
you
wanna
he
sell
gives
them?
you 2,500 gold pieces for the painting.
Okay. I
Oh,
will add
maybe,
that.
maybe we should sell the other one.
And offers you 2,500 for the second one. As you're trying to put it back in the bag of holding.
I wash my hands of this matter.
And he goes to a slice of pizza.
How do you guys want the other one?
Yeah, you went to. You did. You just
Really?
said you washed your hands in this matter, and you turned into a.
And I
slice of
turned
pizza.
into a pizza.
It was great.
Let's reconnect.
Molfin, Lachlan, Diana, do you want to sell it?
2,500.
A lot of
The
money.
golden antlers.
No, the other painting.
It's a lot of money.
Oh.
Or we can keep it. It's up to you guys.
Sure.
These I'd really like to. You know what?
All right.
You know what? I will give you 3,000 for that painting.
Yes.
Yes.
It's probably worth 10,000.
He like.
It's fine. It's going in a museum.
You hear him shout to his secretary to to go get more funds and things like that. Is like, back to the vault, and she starts walking back to go get more money. As this guy's just like dropping a ton of gold on these things, but he can tell these things are just things that he wants in his gallery, so he's willing to pay for this
Oh
collection.
my god, you guys! Let me add that to- I'm
Molfin's gonna
adding-
grab Lachlan. What would you pay for this?
Oh my god.
He just gives you a really
But really,
snooty
though.
look and is like, and then just turns and walks
Didn't
away.
think so.
Oh god. So I'm updating the bag of holding party loot. This is not including it. I'm not separating this. This is just what
Yeah.
we have now.
Gramps, maybe if you turn me into stone, he'll want me.
Oh, party is at 17,000.
Jesus.
17,000 gold pieces.
That's
That was
1,700
12,000
bucks.
just from the artifacts or the artwork.
Hey, thanks so much for the follow. We
Thank you very
appreciate
much, Plague State.
Player
Thanks.
state. Plague state.
that. Plague State. Thank you
Plague
so
state.
much. We appreciate that.
No, you write down in my notes.
I think that's 5 away from 500 now.
5 away from 500, yeah.
My goodness, that is wild.
Wow.
Thank you guys. Yeah, so this guy,
100,000.
he's racking in. I mean, he's paying you guys a lot of money, but he's got some nice pieces added to his collection. Some really old things that he values.
I'll pull out the vacated beehive. This is some modern art.
Are you seriously trying to do this?
Yeah, sure.
Make a deception check.
Wait. Wait. Can I help? Can I cast it in fairy fire so it sparkles? So it looks more artsy.
You guys.
Make a sleight of hand because you're trying to cast a spell in front of him.
Terrible those. If there ever were a moment for Ilmater to bless me with a nat 20, I'm just saying.
Whoa.
Let me.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Let me roll.
It's a 16.
A 16 would have been a 17, but I have a -1.
It's ridiculous. Make a deception check with advantage, Lachlan.
Thanks, Diana.
You're welcome.
Jump 23.
That helps.
Oh my god.
Well, it is a little different, I must say.
It's provocative.
Yeah. What causes it to sparkle like this?
Glitter.
Glitter. What is this glitter?
Glitter.
Your kids are gonna love it.
Kids are gonna love it. Parents are gonna hate it.
25 gold.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
Because it's for a place such as this that has such respect for the
I can hang it in. I can hang it in the center of the next room.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. 25 gold. Here you go. He kind of grabs a
Weapon,
hold of
give
it
me
now,
half.
and he's like, huh, interesting. And walks over to the other room, hands it to his secretary. His secretary's like holding out both arms, like really, what is this? Oh, it's modern art, my dear. You wouldn't understand. Take it and set it in the corner of my
Molfin looks at the group and says, and on that note, I'll be outside, thank you. And Molfin is leaving this establishment.
Yeah.
Because he knows how long that spell lasts.
Lachlan, you better give me half of that. We are co-creators of modern art now.
Absolutely.
I still have one other thing to probably give this guy because I don't know where else is gonna go.
Right, yeah, so Molfin walks outside. What are you looking for, Callista, as you're digging through?
I have an obsidian feather tiara.
You have
What?
You have what? Let me.
An obsidian feather tiara. That's what it says.
Please let me see this.
I don't.
Obsidian feather tiara.
This is so dumb. How long have we had this stuff?
Where did this come from? I have no idea.
It's from the shipwreck, I think.
Is it from the shipwreck as well? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's from. Airship wind. For airship wind. What does that mean? Obsidian feather tiara? Is it magical?
Oh.
If it's magical, I won't sell
That's
it.
a magical item.
I don't.
That's
What is it?
That's another one of those feather tokens. And you remember when you guys identified that, it creates a breeze behind a ship's sail. You guys could use that actually on the airship, and it kind of propels you faster.
And we've had this whole time.
Yeah, you have.
Wait.
Because in my head,
So does someone have to wear
in
it
my
to
head,
do
I'm
it?
thinking every time you guys
Yeah.
get in the airship, it's like, why don't they use that magic item they got? They could probably use it.
Was the beehive magic?
The beehive. Yeah, of course. It's
a sparkly beehive.
It was a very fire beehive.
Does someone have to attune to it to use it? Is that why it's a tiara?
Let me check.
Or did I just write that down? Did I just get a tiara and just mix the two up?
You might have mixed the two up. There might have been a tiara in there. Because I don't think the feather token looks like a tiara.
Looks like a tiara? Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Oh, it looks this one looks like a fan. It looks like this. See this one? It's blue with these blue feathers.
Okay.
Top.
Then not that.
That's what
Then
it
just
looks
the
like,
just the normal tiara I will sell.
The obsidian tiara.
Yeah.
He offers you 500 gold for the obsidian tiara.
Sure.
Wow.
It's elegantly carved. It looks very nice. It's not really inlaid with anything, so that's kind of brings the price down. But he seems to see a resemblance of the same kind of construction with the obsidian tiara and the frames of the paintings that you guys have found, which I'm assuming you found them all in the shipwreck, because
yeah,
I can't remember where else you would have gotten them.
Okay. And then I will go, because I think that's
yeah. So you've definitely stocked up this guy's museum. He's excited. He's got a lot of work to do in the next week. Get these prepared. And you guys make your way back out in the streets. Your change purses jingling a little bit more as you leave. Would you guys like?
Let me check something about Fairy Fire real quick. Okay, so it's concentration. So I have to.
Yeah. So as soon as you leave and get far away from it, it's just not gonna glitter anymore.
Yeah, about 60 feet. So.
60 feet in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, as soon as they set it down on the table and walked away from it.
It's modern art, baby.
whatever. We're
Supposed to do that.
Like that Banksy that shredded or whatever.
Meanwhile, back in the museum, the secretary and the guys are sitting there. He's got his hand up against it, and you can see him just looking at the beehive, going, and maybe it just glitters in certain times of the day, perhaps.
Oh no! I feel so bad.
And then it fades back to you guys walking through the streets of Everlund.
You're the worst.
I give my 13 gold that I got from that, because we split it, to the nearest poor little poverty-stricken child.
Oh.
For one thing, for charity. For the other thing, no paper trail.
They look. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Go get food. Go get shoes.
And they just like 3 little kids just run off down the street.
A month of salary.
Yes.
Go take a bath.
Diana,
Yes.
I'm not sure if either you or Ashlyn would want these, but I still have the boots of speed from Anna.
Ashlyn just looks at you and says, "Yes, please."
Yeah, I was gonna say Ashlyn is the one to give those to. She would probably use them the
I will
most.
give Ashlyn the boots of speed.
She will use them to run towards the things that she needs to kill. I would use them to run away.
Hey, Lachlan, can you imagine how quicker I can kick you in the face with these on?
No. I need to get like a helmet.
So if she uses it as a bonus action, she can double her walking speed, and any creature that makes an opportunity attack against her has disadvantage on an attack roll.
Nice.
Isn't her walking speed like 40 or something?
She can run, I think it's 120 feet in a round.
That's 60 walking speed, so it's
Yeah.
become...
So she could literally go 240 feet in 6 seconds.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Sorry,
What does that
Michael.
come out to in miles
Sorry,
per
Michael.
hour?
We did just make a monster. Those monks, I tell you. Gosh.
The flasher.
Super quick, never misses, and you can't hit them.
That in her inventory.
Yeah. So Ashlyn now has some really awesome boots.
And she doesn't even know it yet.
That's right, Sky the Nightingale, making my way downtown.
Shall we go hit an inn and get some rest then?
Indeed.
In the morning, make our way to Clarion's Keep.
Yes.
Oh, Sarah just tuned in. She says, "Yes,
Yes.
Now she's
My pen stopped working.
your pen
Anna would
stopped
be
working.
proud, Ashlyn.
Anna would be
Think
proud.
what? Think he'd want her to have it.
All right. So what else did you guys
Would
say?
we be able? But before we turn in, would it be possible for Molfin to purchase some healing potions?
Ooh.
Go ahead and make a survival check, Molfin.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say no.
You walk around town for a long time. You see a couple jewelry places. You don't see anything that resembles like an apothecary or anything that would have anything of this nature. Perhaps maybe the local government here doesn't like to have these readily available to patrons. I don't know. You're just not really sure.
Well, wonderful.
Ashlyn can now run 27 miles per hour.
Can't be right. That's slow, isn't it?
I would think it'd be faster than
A
that.
person only runs like, what, like...
Ashlyn
I mean, an
can now
average
run.
person can run 6 miles in a minute.
Chat,
Or a
chat,
mile.
how
Six
fast can a
miles.
person run? Let us know,
Ashlyn
chat.
can now run as fast as Usain Bolt, who was previously the fastest man alive.
Yeah.
Does Usain Bolt run? Is that what he runs?
I don't know what
I
their-
don't know. I
sure what
remember
their
reading
miles per
somewhere
hour
that somebody outranked him, but
Yeah, it's
it
Ashlyn.
was-
Yeah, it's
Usain
Ashlyn.
Bolt. He's 27.8 miles per hour.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, okay, then that's yeah.
But she can maintain it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He can only do it in a 100-meter sprint.
Yeah, it's just 100 meters for him.
Wow.
So yeah, then Molfin's just gonna make his way to the inn and get some rest.
I would like to find a nicer inn, something that's on Anna's scale, please.
Well, that place that you guys originally stayed at was pretty nice. That Danavar's house
Okay.
that Molfin blew up.
Oh, right.
Oh no.
I did not blow it up.
It's
Oh,
the
I
same
remember
place
that.
where Anna was staying, the one with like the hot tub? Or is that somewhere else that I'm
It's,
thinking?
it's this one right here.
the one in the hot tub was in
Every green.
Waterdeep, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That was-
Danavar's house was that one that was. It's a bigger inn. It had the half orc tenant. That basically gave you guys, you know, because of Anna, gave you guys pretty much, you know, rule over the place, basically.
Mm.
Until the explosion heard round Everlund. If you want to go to a different place, though, you can find a different place easily.
I'm just thinking all the upgrades since we have the money.
Sure.
Something, unless they have like nicer rooms that we can.
Yes, it's the one Molfin laid a mine on himself and Anna triggered.
Yes, yeah.
There is a place that looks very upscale and ritzy. It's called the Misty Peacock.
See, that sounds
name
more like
itself.
Anna's style.
Yeah, it does have very nice colors all
Yeah.
around. It definitely looks like a place that Anna would.
Yeah, I don't think Calista wants to go back to that memory, so I feel like, yeah, let's go there instead.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way to the Misty Peacock to have yourself a stay. I would say this place is probably on the edge of like 5 gold pieces a night to spend the night here. It's a little nicer of a place.
Oh, perish the thought.
Not as nice as the one you stayed in Waterdeep, of course.
Of course.
Yes, this city obviously doesn't have the kind of money that Waterdeep has coming into it, but it still can do fairly well.
So like 25 for all of us?
Yeah, it'd be 25 for everybody.
Okay.
And
I'll take that from the party.
this place, it's not like Danivar's house where they had a huge bar and tavern kind of on the first floor type deal. They have a small like eat-in place where they serve a little bit of drink, but it's mainly just a place to stay, and they put most of their money into, you know, lavishing up the rooms a bit, making it look a little bit more ritzy and comfortable for their guests.
Cool.
And you guys are able to make your way into the rooms. Is there anything you guys wanted to do, or are you guys just going to go ahead and take your long rest here? As I would say, probably about now, you probably had, if you want to, you can have a meal here for dinner, and then
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt.
the meal's going to probably run you about 2 gold a piece.
That's fine. I'm gonna pull out my own bottle of sweet wine that I have.
Oh, yeah, you got some nice sweet wine, huh?
Yeah.
You gonna
Fancy.
pour everybody a glass, or you just gonna drink out of the bottle
Yeah.
yourself?
Hello.
No, I'll share.
You share?
I'll share.
So around the table, Callista shares a very tasty bottle of wine with all of you. Because you're splitting it with so many people, they don't get too much of it, but just enough to get a little flavor and to wash down the nice food that you were eating here in this place. Seems rather, it's not a very crowded place. It's not like the hustle and bustle that you guys are used to in most taverns and inns. People do
That's
come
good.
in
Kind
and
of what
out.
I want.
It's kind of, you know, you can tell that it's a place that the travelers that can afford this kind of comfort tailor to, and it seems like the majority of the caravans that come through here, most of the people just can't afford this kind of stay all the time. So anything you guys would be chatting about before?
Nope.
All right, so you guys have yourselves a nice evening of rest, and you wake up refreshed early in the morning and are able to meet downstairs once again for a light breakfast. This place doesn't go all out when it comes to breakfast here. It's a rather light breakfast, maybe some pastries. You know, the continental breakfast you get in some places when you stay. Some oat, some kind of oat cereal or something like that. You know, a little bit of cinnamon on the top of it. Lachlan.
Let's prep our daily spells.
So yeah, you guys are.
Molfin's going to take a few moments to go over and speak to the person at like the desk or the like the entranceway who's ever in front of the house, so to speak.
Okay.
And try to purchase 4 envelopes.
You wish to purchase 4 envelopes.
Yes.
He disappears a little bit. He comes out. Will these do? And he hands you just what seemed to be like envelopes that were just lying around. One of them actually has some writing still on it that he scribbled out.
That will work fine. Just something I need to jot some stuff in.
Sure, just take them. It's fine.
Oh, no. What's he doing?
It looks like he got one of them out of the trash and like unwrinkled it and handed it to you.
Molfin will just sort of look and drop 5 platinum on the counter for him. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Really, it wasn't that big of a deal. He takes them quickly and shoves them in his pouch. Okay. So what you guys doing? Early morning, nice light breakfast, start out your day.
We're going to see
A little bit of fresh juice.
Sorry.
How are you? Off to see the dragons, so to speak.
Yes.
How long are we gonna leave our new toy with him?
Well, it is safer with him, but just not
He's
as
gonna-
if we can use it.
He'll give it back, right?
If we need it. At least we have somewhere to keep it safe for the time being.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it anywhere near the giants.
Probably a good point.
And if we're gonna go get the conch and get our way to Hecaton, I don't think we should take that.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah, I was just thinking, I know we have multiple people in this room have, declared war on various gods. So,
Right.
it might be nice to have something like that in our arsenal.
You're not wrong. But let it not be said that the gods will not get what's coming to them.
Yep.
I do kind of like a superstitious thing, knocking on the wood table. All right, then go.
You guys are heading out?
Callista, it seems we must travel your means, as I cannot
Yep.
get us there.
I will tree, plant, stride, travel via plant to the base of the mountain because there's no trees on closer to where he actually is, right?
Yeah, it'd be more towards the base of the mountain. So you have to walk
Okay.
a little bit up to where he was.
Yeah, that's
So we're gonna go through a tree?
yes.
Are you
Like-
doing this right in the at the breakfast?
I would like to find a tree.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you going into the
I'm not-
table?
I'm not. Yeah. No, I gotta find a tree. I have to try and find a tree here that's big enough for us.
You know what? Out in front of Danavar's house, you guys remember when Molfin and Anastasius had their kind of moment
In the park.
in the park. There were several large trees. It'd be shift ping you down into this area.
Yeah.
There were several big trees there in that park whenever that snow was falling and Anastasius was, just sleeping on the ground and Molfin was in the dome sleeping. They had that moment. Remember that moment they had where
Yep.
the dome in the morning was completely covered in snow? But yeah, you guys remember that. So you make your way through a few of the alleys. Everybody make a perception check for me, please.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, nice.
Wow.
That's good. Callista, you're the first to notice
Hmm.
because of your love for the Zhentarim.
Oh.
There's
Uh-huh.
a group of Zhentarim are coming across the bridge towards the market, and they're being led by a gnome wizard who is carrying something. It's wrapped up, well hidden, but it's Molfin.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Lachlan, as you see Callista looking this way, you kind of peek your head up and you can see the members of the Zhentarim that Molfin had hired. All on horseback. Well, actually, they wouldn't be on horseback now. They probably would have checked their horses into a stable coming in. But they're making their way over this arched bridge that comes across.
As if one wasn't enough,
I'm gonna motion for Molfin to go get his charges, and we'll wait by the tree. There.
Molfin, with a spry in his step you have not seen from Molfin in quite some time, Molfin takes off heading towards Molfin.
Okay, so you hurry your way. Molfin sees you coming, and just pretty much he starts having a faster gait to his step as he approaches. You can see that the Zhentarim recognize what's going on and start to follow as well. And you can see Townley, the initial person that you had hired, in his band. It looks like there are 4 others behind him, because when they see you, their faces kind of, there's a little bit of a sigh of relief to their expression as they see you, and also this almost glow of excitement because they know what kind of reward they've got coming to them from what you promised for the completion of this mission. So
Molfin got up to them. Oh, I see you are here, and everything seems to have gone well, then I take it.
Townley looks towards you as you say that. Before even Molfin II can say anything, he's like, now I know why you gave us so much money.
Oh, God.
And he kind of just takes his hand and just... and then just looks to Molfin II.
Prime will look at the second and just go, that bad? And as he looks and says, we will talk of it later, and is going to hand said wrapped up item to Molfin.
Oh, yeah.
And as Molfin's going to take that and without even just stow it away.
Okay.
Go in and looking at the Zhentarim, you said there are 5 of them there?
Yeah, there are 5 Zhentarim there. There looks to be 3 men and 2 women.
So Molfin Prime is going to go into his bag and start pulling out the pouch for them and says, well, it seems as, well, myself has advised me we need to discuss what happened there. Molfin's going to hand them the bag.
Okay. Townley takes it
and then,
excitedly from you.
And go in and pull out another 100. It appears I was ill prepared for what to expect. Take this as well, with my apologies if it was unduly uncomfortable for you.
He looks at you, he smiles, looks back at his group, like, he looks back at you and he said, if you ever need any more work, we'll probably just...
Where do I find you?
We'll probably just stick around here for a little while.
Feel free. We will be out of town for about a day, but we'll be returning soon.
Fair enough. We'll stick around for a few days, and if you think of anything that you need, we're definitely for hire. You can see them, a couple of them back in back are a little uncomfortable, but the one guy, the one younger guy that you guys remember from before, Adrian, is just kind of like smiling real big and just going, yes, yes.
Molfin's going to, pat where he just stowed his item and then, arm around himself and start walking back to the group.
Okay. Both Molfins rejoin the party. And the minute you guys walked away, you guys heard a bunch of like excited screams behind you.
Money!
I hope they don't go too overboard.
Oh gosh.
And as the Molfins get back up with the group, Molfin II looks at Diana. You and I need to have a very serious conversation about Dawn. But not now.
And I think that's the perfect time to take our break.
What?
Yeah, Calista wants to insight check that so hard.
That is awesome. Awesome, guys. Oh, man. So much good stuff. Wow. So, yeah, you guys just got even more filthy rich by helping out a local museum and its curator.
Doing our good deed.
You guys have been reunited with Molfin II, who had a mysterious package to deliver to Molfin. And now, Molfin II needs to have a chat with Diana about her mentor, Dorn. So we will see what happens when we get back. Everyone stick with us for episode 77 of Storm King's Thunder. We're just going to take about 5 to 7 minute break, and we'll be right back with you, so hold on tight. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Yeah, oh. Okay, so number one, we're gonna insight check Molfin.
Okay.
Or Molfin II.
Insight
just
checking
to
Molfin
see.
II.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Pretty brutal. Diana, though.
That's a good question, MG. Molfin II slays Molfin Prime, takes the shroud for himself.
I am Prime now.
Tis the never-ending cycle of the Sith Lords, you know.
Only two.
That's it.
Master and apprentice.
Diana, what would their insight checks tell about what Molfin?
I don't know what I'm really looking for.
Yeah, it's like,
I think, like, did he kill him? Like,
Molfin II seems irritated with the, like, picture any film you've ever seen, you know, so and so. He's just got a distaste for Dorn for some reason. It's whatever happened. He has a very negative, very sort of just negative, distasteful look to him. Like, even saying the name is like, ugh.
Okay. That could mean a lot of things. Okay. I go off of that intense loathing as he is still alive to loathe. So, I'm good.
As Molfin sort of looks over at the Molfin Prime, looks at the group. So, are we planning on going, or?
Yeah, let's.
Looks at Molfin II. Or do you really need to do this now? Molfin II just sort of looks, gestures at Diana.
Okay. Later then.
Can we do it when we get to the other side? How about?
The Molfins agree.
The Molfins
Right.
agree.
I'll have the Molfins agree.
That's the next t-shirt. Two Molfins, like, just standing there like this, you know, the Molfins agree.
Christy, you make
yeah.
wireframe images of Molfin?
soon to be in Waterdeep storefronts.
Yep. Let me get right on that design for you, buddy.
Oh, Jesus.
So you guys are making your way to the park area?
Tree.
Tree?
Yeah.
Okay. And you find a really nice sized tree that you believe that you could easily make your way there. Does everybody, like, what does this look like when you cast? I want you to kind of describe it for everybody. Does everybody else like have to be like in contact with you?
No, it's kind of like it's like a portal. They have 6 seconds to run, like as many people that can run through in a turn.
Like the Harry Potter.
What if we don't make it?
Yeah, it's kind of like the 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if our leg gets caught?
You'll be fine. You're fast.
I'm like sweating. I'm pale.
So her hands start to glow like this, like really soft bluish green color, as she like puts both her hands on the front of the trunk and kind of like does this motion up and down, and you see that there's a small slit that slowly widens as she concentrates on the spell.
All right.
And yeah, you can. It's just a portal. So I go through.
Callisto
rush.
goes through. The portal stands.
I'm
in front of the
rushing
rest
in right
of you.
after.
Rushing in. Lachlan is nipping at your heels.
Molfin Prime jumps through.
Molfin Prime through. All right. Hold his breath. It's like a split second, MG. Like you just see this flash of this blue-green light, and then you just almost like just thrusted out of another tree, and you start to roll across the ground as you can feel the cold blast of air hit you from the far north as you are rolling across the ground in what seems to be still a snow-covered area. As you roll into the snow. And the rest of
Callisto, that was awesome.
And you guys have all made your way back to near where Clarion's. Let me move this map so I can get you guys settled with your with this map. If it will allow me to, please roll 20. Thank you all. Move this over a little bit to make it easier for me in the future, going between these pages. I wish it would just like, I wish Roll20, when you're scrolling through the maps at the top, I wish it would just like auto scroll when you like click on something and you can move it over, but it doesn't do that for me. All right.
There we go.
Boy.
So there's the big old map. And if you guys remember right, way, way, way up here, Shift Ping is where you all end up.
This is certainly as cold as I remember it.
Yeah.
It's bitter cold. I don't think this area, grass probably doesn't grow here because it's just covered in snow pretty much all year round here. It's just a frozen tundra area.
All right, I'd like to activate my Crimson Fly.
Okay. So there's a massive fly buzzing around now as it makes its way sitting next to Callista.
And I will get up on it and fly ahead, kind of do a scout, like perception, so I know what we're going up into.
Oh, perfect. Make a perception check for us. Okay. You're buzzing overhead. You can see there is some smoke coming from the Clarion Citadel.
Okay.
It's not like, it doesn't look like a massive fire of anything, but it does look like a small pillar of smoke that rises out from it. It looks like it's coming out from one of the top smashed areas of the roof. It seems to be coming out from that area. Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that. Can't see the name.
Kanye West.
Kanye West. Awesome name. Welcome. But yeah, that's pretty much what you can perceive as you buzz around. Doesn't seem to be any other. I mean, you see some, just your standard wildlife in some of the areas, but nothing that would be threatening.
Okay, I'll let them know, and I'll just stay on the fly as we go up.
Okay. So you guys are all making your way up to Clarion's citadel.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys approach the front door, and it brings back some pretty terrifying memories. The last time that you were here, Molfin, you can actually see the spot in which you were surprised by these creatures that seemed to almost just appear out of the earth beneath you.
We'll go in.
And you approach the door, and when you get to that spot, before you get maybe about 15 feet away from the door, you hear a voice. Halt. Don't go a step further.
Is it a voice I recognize?
It is not. But you can see somebody that has a crossbow, and they're just peeking out of the dark area of the door as they're looking out. Who is it?
Callista. Who are you?
Callista. I'm Drake. Who are you with?
My companions? We're friends of Clarion.
Friends of Clarion.
What are you doing here?
He steps out just a little bit to show you just enough of him that you can see, and he reaches down, and he's got this symbol where his cloak attaches around his neck, and it looks like an Emerald Enclave symbol.
I show him mine.
Ah. Come. And he just takes the crossbow, puts it down, and kind of invites you guys in. And as you guys are walking behind, you can see like this Drake is just walking towards, kind of beelining his way towards where you guys had this epic battle with this undeadish mage of some sort. And all these stone statues started to come to life. Basically, Clarion's treasure hoard, which is where he kept all of his treasures. And you make your way in, and you can see that there are about 6 or 7 other members of what looks to be the Emerald Enclave. That Ani that you met in Waterdeep is one of them. And they have a small fire built. The statue of Clarion is no longer there, but there is someone laying next to the fire, heavily blanketed.
Where is he? Is that him?
There he is. And Ani points over to him. He's hurt, but he's safe.
I would like to go over and try and see if there's any like healing I can do for him, for restoration.
Sure. Yeah. You can make a medicine check if you'd like. Most of the wounds seem to be healing up fine. Some healing probably wouldn't hurt, but it seems like he's more exhausted than anything. It just seems like an exhaustion thing where he just needs to rest a little bit. This could have been something that happened prior to him being turned to stone, or just the effect of being turned to stone for that long. Either or, you can tell he's just drained. It doesn't seem like he can communicate to the Emerald Enclave very well, because the fire doesn't seem to be anything that doesn't really help him that much. But he actually enjoys the cold, so it's not that big of a deal.
I'll like control the flames to like give him a wider berth of it, so it's not so hot for him.
In one place, yeah, sure, yeah. You can see that one of these Emerald Enclave members looks to be some type of either priest or spellcaster of some sort. Probably the one that had the ability to be able to bring him back from such a state that he was in. And Clarion looks up at you, Callista. Oh, I'm so glad that you're safe.
Feelings mutual. Looking so good last time we were here.
You know, when I put all these wonderful statues in my hoard, I never thought that I'd become one.
Hopefully that will never happen again.
Yeah,
Sorry it took us so long.
He has a little chuckle. It's perfectly fine. What happened? I've been out for so long.
So I would just sit and like give him the non-abridged version, give him as much info as I can.
Okay.
Also allowing Ani to listen, because this is going to affect them as well.
Oh yeah, sure. So you basically have this moment of sharing everything that's happened in the last several weeks.
Like everything that's since the point where we found him till now.
Okay. He does ask, how this Lich Queen, how did she find me?
I'm not sure. She might have been scrying on us.
Well, someone of that much power would surely have that ability. They just overran the place, Callista. There wasn't anything I could do.
I think they were tracing our steps because Diana's connection to their soul.
And Diana is freed.
Now, yes.
That's
All of
good
them
news.
are.
Very good news.
She's gone. Forever.
Great.
There is something that I was hoping you could help us.
Sure. I mean, you guys have helped me so much. What can I do for you?
I will kind of like help him to his feet if he can, and kind of like take him to like a more quieted area away from the Enclave.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it seems like they're getting like cooking pots ready and they're starting to cook some type of meal over this fire. Definitely.
Molfin Prime is making sure to keep a very wide berth to the flame.
Sure.
What was that?
Molfin Prime is staying away from the flames.
Yeah, fair.
So Molfin's kind of staying away from everybody else, really keeping himself in check.
I will hand him the flask of the Dawn Titan.
Whoa, this is warm.
I know. And I need you to keep it safe. And I'm going to tell him that it is the flask of the Dawn Titan Regera?
Majera.
Majera?
He's like, there's a Dawn Titan in this flask?
Yes. And I don't want to bring it anywhere near the giants. They could easily use it against all of us.
Absolutely. Where are we gonna hide it? And he starts looking around.
That's what I was hoping maybe you would know.
Oh gosh.
And I figure someplace cold.
Yes. I do think I have a place.
If you need help, just ask. But I figured you were the more capable person to keep guard of it until we know what to do with it.
How on earth did you get your hands on a Dawn Titan?
Complicated family drama?
Complicated. It seems to be a lot of that.
Uh-huh. My uncle was part of a high drow house, and they were trying to make friends with the fire giants. They were trying to get it back to them, but we intercepted for the transaction.
It's a good thing that you did.
Yeah.
A Dawn Titan. And he just looks down at the flask again.
Of fires, so be careful.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they definitely can't get a hold of this.
No.
I know a place, and
Okay.
he starts to move on out. Sluggishly. You can definitely tell he's dragon a little bit. But
If I'd give him a restoration, would that
Dragon a
help
little
with
bit.
exhaustion?
What's that?
If I give him a restoration, would that help with the exhaustion?
Oh yeah,
Just got that.
you just got that dragon a little bit.
A dragon. Dragging his feet.
But terrible, terrible jokes. terrible jokes. Yeah, if you throw him a restoration, it probably won't alleviate all the exhaustion, but it'll definitely make a
Okay.
definitely an impact on him.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so he disappears out of the main room for a while after Callista casts the spell, and what are the rest of you doing? And we got just several members of the Emerald Enclave just kind of chilling. Looks like they're cooking a little bit of some kind of warm stew over the small fire that they built in the old treasure hoard.
You gonna finish that?
Drake kind of looks at you. Havable.
Yes.
I would give Ani 150 gold.
What is this for?
Everything. Helping him.
If it weren't for you, no one would even know he was here.
Still, you brought these people all this way. Please.
Well, I trusted you, and I figured if it really was a silver dragon in distress, he might be able to help us out. So,
He didn't deserve it, so I'm glad you guys could help.
yeah, it's not a problem, and we could use as many allies as we could get right now.
I think we all could. And I will go over to the rest of my party and see what they're doing. Like, what are they up to?
Lachlan's got a big old bowl of stew that he's just munching on.
Great.
Drake kind of hollers over at the rest of everybody and is just like, help yourself. Smells really good.
It is really good.
I think Matthew...
Molfin
oh,
the
yeah, you
second.
go.
Yeah, Molfin the second's going to look over at Diane and Callista. Do we have a few moments to converse while Clarion is not here?
Of course.
Yes, indeed.
Diana,
what do
you
you-
may want to be seated for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit in between them.
Are there any chairs? Are there any chairs
They're
for Diana
they're
to
not-
sit in?
Pretty much everything in this room has been broken or shattered. Back, if you remember walking in, basically all the statues were like pushed over, so that they like smashed whenever they landed. I mean, basically, Cruella the Black and her minions have basically just destroyed the place.
Decimated this
Yeah.
place, yeah. So I will
Okay.
druidcraft a bed of flowers for Diana to sit on.
I sit very daintily in my bed of flowers.
Molfin looks at the second looks and down at her and says, well, as I believe you were aware, I was going to the Temple of Ilmater in Daggerford.
Mm-hmm.
To repent and save your soul? No?
Certainly, why not?
Okay.
We can go with that if it'll
Okay. La 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 la.
I spoke with a gentleman at the entryway
Yeah.
and advised him that I was sent on a very important mission by dawn to collect a certain item from the temple, which is no longer in my possession. No,
And I know exactly what item he's talking about, right?
I think you were there when
Yeah, you were there whenever
Molfin.
they were.
when Molfin
I think
fired
Lord
the-
also just told me what was under the temple.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And the second sort of glances over at Molfin Prime, who is still like 25 feet away, off by himself, staying away from the fire. They had no idea of what Dawn had placed within that temple. Luckily,
Right.
with the Zhentarim's aid, we were able to find a hidden doorway in the basement of the temple, where
Right.
Dawn had erected a shrine to the artifact.
Shrine?
A shrine?
Under
had-
Ilmater's temple.
It had a massive emblem, I'll call it, on the back wall of a hand with an eye in the middle of it.
Oh my god.
I, per Molfin Prime's directive, using a couple of spells, managed to obtain said item.
Uh-huh.
Immediately upon retrieving it, a demon was summoned. Not a devil, but a demon.
Okay.
We sent a few of the Zhentarim out to obtain the guards, as this was beyond what I was prepared for. Using the resilient sphere, we managed to trap it in the rooms beneath the temple, and have the Zhentarim and the priests evacuate, so that the gods could come in and deal with whatever Dawn had set.
How many people fell, do you know?
How do I know that any of this is even true?
You can make an insight check if you'd like.
Or if you wish, you can cast your enchantment. I know you have one that will
Make him speak truth.
prove
I
me.
do Zone of
speak
Truth
to
by
me
now.
true.
You do have Zone of Truth. Mhm.
I didn't prepare it today.
I do have something that I could do at this very moment, though.
My insight
before
was
we do that-
21.
Yeah. What, Molfin, are you being honest in your insight?
You know as well as I do. That's
Yeah, that's 100% what happened.
Completely.
Yeah.
Molfin is being 100% straight with you.
Molfin.
Okay, so-
Molfin,
Oh my
Molfin,
god, I'm not used to this.
Molfin, you would have trouble
Molfin's telling the
answering.
truth.
You would have trouble answering the question of how many fell, because you got the F out of there.
Right,
as
I-
quickly
I
as you
left
can.
I left the invisible. And we evacuated the temple, sent for the
Okay.
guards,
Okay.
and we left basically.
Mhm.
Molfin II summoned in an unseen servant who
Uh-huh.
grabbed the item,
Mhm.
put him in a resilient sphere to block the doorway,
Mhm.
and then gave ourselves literally about a minute and a half
Mhm.
evacuating the temple to get everyone
Oh,
out
Yeah.
So
while the
they-
guards were coming
Okay,
in.
good.
Yeah.
So how many guards died, who knows, but
Right, but
would
the
Molfin be pretty comfortable that the temple had been
people-
evacuated at that point?
The temple would have been evacuated, but
okay.
Molfin, you have never seen or run into a creature like this before. You have no idea of telling if the guards stood a chance against it. And Diana just remembers communicating with her mother, saying there was an incident, they were safe. But that she would talk to her about it later, I think, when they didn't have a 25-word limit.
What happened to Dorn?
And did you see Dorn?
No, Dawn, we left it. I believe it was Waterdeep, did we
Waterdeep
not?
was the last time you saw Dorn, that's right.
That's specifically why I sent. Well, why I suppose I sent me. Because Dawn would not be there.
I guess that's why he hated you so much. And why he didn't want you anywhere near the relics. Because he was planning on becoming the hand and the eye.
I do not know his plans. But you
We
need to
can
be
assume.
warned. It was housed at the end of a room, about 30 feet across, it seemed, in a place of honor in a crystalline box. And again, with that same markings from that token we found. I think we all saw that. If not, scrape that. I'm pretty sure we all saw that thing, though.
Yeah.
3 things. Number 1, how dare he to defile the temple of Ilmater with that beneath the surface? Secondly, that man was my mentor for years. I studied under him. I became a cleric under him. He's the one who consecrated me to Ilmater. I can't say that I'm going to kill him, but I really don't like that guy right now. Thirdly, you all have your beefs with the Raven Queen and Asmodeus and whatever. I'm going to square up with Vecna as soon as I get the chance.
So that's one more god to kill on our
Hey,
list.
let's add another
Should we
to the
get that
list.
Dawn Titan back? Yeah.
I can't believe this. Where's the eye?
I have no knowledge of it. All Taz would tell us the last time was that it is out there somewhere. She just confirmed for me when she told us that we knew where one of the items was and looked at you.
I can't remember if Dorn ever told me anything right now.
I'd like to scry on Dorn, please.
I also have scrying, so I will also attempt to scry on Dorn.
Well, if you want to do it, you can do it. You probably have a higher spell save than mine is,
Excellent.
so
I
you
believe,
scry on
do
him.
I have
And she
to roll,
probably
or do
knows
you
him
guys
better.
have to roll for scry? I can't remember. Let's see.
I think it's weed.
No, Dorn has to make a saving throw
Saving
against
throw
it.
against it.
Yeah, and we can only do it once per day. Like, if he saves, we'd have to wait tomorrow to do it on him again.
So,
Okay.
and if she's familiar with the target, it's a -5.
-5 to a save. Gosh.
I'd say she's super familiar with this target. She's spent years with this guy.
Oh yeah.
I have lived with this man for more than 2 years. Also, let's not. I saved his life 3 times.
You did.
Yes,
I
we did.
wasted
We saved this asshole so many times.
his life. I brought him back from the dead 3 times so they could continue to worship Vecna.
Well, who's?
I'm just gonna rub
who's-
Diana's neck and just soothing motions.
Is
it's
Diana
okay.
the one doing the scrying? Diana, you're the one doing the scrying in this.
Yeah,
in
I
this,
say
am
Diana.
in this
scrying
anxious
in
rage that you're going
intense
into right
She's
now.
rage scrying. She's rage scrying right now.
I am physically shaking. I don't think you can't see it because it's my legs, but everything. I am physically shaking in anger in Diana's sake right now.
Okay, so Diana, as you begin to cast your scrying, even though you're rage crying, this extra rage, this extra anger helps you to focus even more in on Dorn and his energy. And you can, after the 10 minutes of the casting takes place, Callista's rubbing your back the entire time you're casting these incantations. When you get a little bit more angry and your teeth start to grit in the incantation, she rubs just a little bit harder, you know?
It's okay.
And you're kind of going through the motions, and then all of a sudden you just take a deep breath and you relax just a bit as tears are still kind of streaming down your face just a bit. You can feel that as the tears run down, the cold air of this place it almost feels like these tears are freezing on your face. And then you get a blast of what feels like cold water. And you see Dorn. And he's bundled up heavily in animal furs. And then you look across and you see another figure bundled up across from him. They seem to be sitting down. You can hear the sound of waves in water. And you notice and you recognize the figure in front of Dorn sitting there. It's Natasha. The one that you guys rode with from Daggerford
Yep.
to Nightstone, who dropped you off.
Yep.
She's sitting there and she's breathing heavily. You can see her breath. Her dark skin, it seems to have a blue hue to it. She's just very cold. And then you hear Dorn speak up. Thank you so much for taking us aboard. And then you can hear some other voices. They're a little bit out of the range of the scribes. Hey, it's not a problem. Willing to give ride. Anybody has enough coin. It'll be fine, Natasha. We'll be just fine. The spell on the doorway let me know that Molfin surely made his way. Are you sure this is such a good idea? I mean, you know, I just don't see how this is all going to work out. You know, I mean, and you can tell there's just this little hesitation going on with Natasha. Just relax, my dear. Just relax. It'll be just fine. It all seems to be working out to plan. Seems to be just working out the way we want it to. One day he'll be back. He will return. And he leans over and he kind of rubs her just above her knee a little bit. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. He will. She looks down and he looks back at her. Just one step closer. One step. And then you seem to feel that same splash of water on your face, Diana, as you open your eyes and you can see everybody around you just kind of staring at you as you went into this kind of trance for a few moments. Callista still gently rubbing your back all throughout the process.
Molfin the second looking sort of down at the ground a little bit.
I look at Molfin, and is Molfin there?
Molfin Prime is about 25 feet, sitting down just away from everybody else.
I look over at Molfin Prime, and I want to say to him that I just look at him and I say, Molfin, I am so sorry for everything, for ever doubting you or your goodness or your loyalties or anything. I was very wrong. I don't know, looking at my allies as if they could be enemies and thinking that those that were my true allies are now apparently courting evil. So I don't really know what reality is anymore right now, but I know that you were always honest, and I'm just so sorry.
I have not always been. It took somebody setting us straight. We won't mention her name, though. It is something if this family is meant to survive through what we are dealing with, then we must all be honest with each other.
Yes.
All I've ever.
Diana seems to be... Ashlyn this whole time has been just pretty much doing the same thing Callista, like consoling you and just kind of cuddling close to you, being childhood friends and everything. Sees you going through a rough time, so she's definitely been there with you this whole time.
Dorn tricked. He took me under his wing too.
Yeah.
I trusted him too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken you guys on that trip tonight.
And Natasha.
Natasha.
Natasha. What was her name again? Natasha, right?
Yeah.
Natasha, thank you. I thought so. But then Natasha and Natalia, I've always gotten mixed up. You know, they're twins. Natasha.
Wonderful.
Natasha is also in on it. And just to warn you, Molfin, he knows what you took. And he said that everything is going to plan. I don't know how. I don't know why. But he is certain that he will rise again.
Molfin's going to look around. Where's the Emerald Enclave? Are they paying any real attention to us?
No, they're just eating. They're just sitting around the fire, just seem to be chatting back and forth.
Yeah, we've gone off to the side for this conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're not within earshot.
Molfin goes into his robe, pulls out a carefully wrapped package and starts to unwrap it.
What is it that they see, Molfin?
They see a severed, rotted, decaying hand.
In like a glass baseball bat case.
How can you even touch that? Ugh.
Janky mage hand.
Maybe he's banking on Molfin collecting up all the pieces he needs, and he use that, take it from him.
I'm not saying anything, but Dorn has been killed by less than any of Molfin's spells. I know because I've revived him that many times. I really don't think if Dorn aims to collect the items, I don't think that I don't know.
Unless he's not
I think that
working
us
alone.
having them would be the opposite of his plan. But apparently everything was going great to him. Is that the real hand? Like, how do we find out?
Molfin takes back out the little crystal case. Well, there's one way to know for sure.
Not yet. Maybe not ever. I'm still iffy on you putting that on your body.
Where would it
That's
go?
very Diana.
Diana, I told you I would be honest with you. It will happen.
Oh, no.
I would rather you be present when it does.
Okay.
Her face! Diana's just, oh!
Okay.
And with that, Molfin's going to take the crystal case onto the ground and break it.
Okay, you guys hear glass shatter. A couple of the Emerald Enclave kind of pick up their heads and just look over.
Need to get my phone charger real quick.
They can't really see what you guys are doing because you guys are sitting in kind of a circle and can't really see. They just kind of curiously looking over, like when somebody drops a plate in a restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, who was that? Oh man, that sucks. Oh, what's that?
Okay.
Picks up the hand.
Oh man, it is nasty to hold. Like it's just
Ugh.
like gooey and raw. It's just the smell of rot coming from this thing.
Oh, my stew's not sitting well.
I don't smell anything different. Got the shroud, man.
What you gonna do?
Molfin starts looking through his things.
If you pull out a dagger.
Pulls out a little tiny, half-broken dagger.
Oh my god! Do not saw that thing off right now.
Oh no!
Are we sure this is the best form of action?
Well,
Like, seriously.
the
I
shroud
just
has done
mean-
nothing but help.
I know, I just
The
mean
sh-
long term. what's gonna happen long term?
Long term, after we deal with the giants, we are now apparently killing 3 deities.
Good point.
So maybe,
Jeez, maybe I should pick one too.
maybe. Oh, and dragons. Don't forget that because Ashland's so big. Maybe we put the hand on reserve for when we need it against the deities. Another part is
time to attune to it.
okay. Just one other part is it maybe wait until after we're done with Vecna, because then maybe I don't know.
Or if we do it after the
He'll
fact
use
and he
it.
manages to collect the items, he will be that more powerful.
That's
If
true.
they're on my possession, he cannot use them, short of
That's true.
dealing with me first.
If they're on your person, they might, I don't know, they might steal you.
It hasn't happened yet, and Molfin's going to
I
drive
could
the dagger
certainly
into
try.
his wrist.
So Molfin
I
just
have produced flame
drives
ready
the
to
dagger into
cauterize
his
the wound.
wrist. It hurts like crazy, Molfin. Just pain shoots through your arm.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and make so I'm not gonna make you attack your own arm, but let's see if you can just make a Constitution save as you're basically hacking off your left hand.
Okay, I'm going to burn my inspiration to...
Okay.
Can I give him my nat 20 as I'm holding on to him Gramps, you can do it, man.
Oh, you cheering him on?
Brave.
You can.
Yeah.
So you, Molfin, you start to think about your family life. You start to think about your wife. You start to think about your entire family at home. You start to think about Lachlan and just everything that he's been through and everything his family's been through. And you just see so much good in being able to have the power and the magic, the arcane prowess to be able to pull your family out of any hardship. And you just saw that hand right off without a problem, gritting your teeth through it. You're biting your lower lip. They can't see it because it's under the shroud. As you're just gnawing,
bleeding a little bit from the lip, chewing on it,
yeah. And you're just gnawing your arm off on the other side, or just sawing it away. And you guys watch brutally as Molfin's hand falls to the floor with a thud.
Can I quickly cauterize the wound so he doesn't bleed out?
Sure, absolutely. And
Molfin immediately takes the other hand and presses it against the stump.
And as he presses this hand against the stump, you can watch as it almost looks like tendrils and veins start to seep out of the wrist area of the hand. And then all of a sudden they go slowly out and then and start rapidly sticking into different parts of Molfin's wrist. You can see blood start to pour down his wrist, down to his elbow, as this severed hand is attaching and affixing itself to all of Molfin's just the end of his appendage, and its veins seem to be latching in and attaching and tying around each other and basically melding itself to Molfin's stub on his left hand. Each time this thing just jets another vein or tendril into your flesh, you can just feel the piercing, not only pain but the evil aura of arcane energy that comes off of this hand. And it is now affixed to you, Molfin. And you're holding it just out in front of you. Still blood seems to be seeping down from where Callista had cauterized the wound. You can see that perfect stitch where this thing has seemed to have affixed itself.
How do you feel?
Stiff. But you watch as he slowly, you can see the fingers just barely starting to move a little at first. Seems to be working.
Why don't we rest here for the night? Let's not push you to go back to Everlund today.
Had I thought before we left, I probably should have bought some gloves.
I want to know.
He holds up two very different looking hands.
You guys would when you got like winter clothing for your journeys, they probably have included some kind of gloves.
We'll get you some nicer ones, some summer ones later.
I want to know how my friend with the hand of Vecna became the lesser of two evils to me.
And as Molfin Prime reaches down with his new hand to pick up his old hand,
which there's like a puddle of blood on the floor around it.
Put that one on me.
It's weird. It's so weird.
Slides the ring off and holds it out to Callista.
You couldn't have taken it before you cut up before.
Yeah, there's a few bloody fingerprints on it.
What's this ring again? What's
Clean
this
it off, hand it over to her. This is it's a ring of protection.
Okay.
A lot of good.
This is healthy and normal.
Well, this episode got interesting. Of all things that were going to happen tonight, I had not anticipated this.
This is so much to process, and my pen ran out of ink, so I can't take notes.
Right.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So I'm assuming, Matthew, you have the statistics for the item.
I haven't pulled them down, but I can pull them. I got to move it over on Roll20 anyway.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, not D&D Beyond.
Sure. I do have to add some of the properties to it, so I'll get those to you.
No worries.
Because it's one of those artifacts, so it has a minor, a major, and a minor. Some beneficial and detrimental properties that come with it. So I'll roll those up.
Oh, okay.
And get those to you. I like to keep it random. I roll them at random.
Oh, you got to. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah. Or you know what? Why don't I have you help me roll them? Let's just do it.
Oh no!
Why not? Why don't we do that? I like doing that, especially live on stream. It makes it even more interesting.
Oh dear God.
Let me see. Eye and hand of Vecna. Perfect. Random properties. One minor beneficial property. Okay, let's see. Go ahead and roll a D100 for me, Matthew.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
A 22.
22.
While attuned to this artifact, you are immune to disease.
Yeah, there we go.
You cannot be diseased. Now, one major beneficial property. Go and roll another D100 for me. Here we go.
55. I'm liking the double numbers, apparently.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, I didn't know if you could hear me.
We're all doing the same thing.
You're probably gonna
Hands
like
are
this.
shaking.
While attuned to the artifact, you can use an action to cast one 4th level spell chosen by the dungeon master from it. After you cast the spell, roll a d6. On a roll of 1 through 5, you can't cast it again until the next dawn.
Ooh.
So it basically has a 4th level spell in it. Interesting. And last roll, this is the minor detrimental property.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll a d100.
Oh.
No,
Stick with
This
no.
is the negative part of the hand. Let's see, a 12.
That's a 12.
This, roll again. That one makes literally no sense for this item, so I can't put that one.
Our dungeon master said that one's too mean.
91.
Okay. While attuned to this artifact, you must eat and drink 6 times the normal amount each day.
Oh my god!
Suddenly I'm hungry.
You know what the first one was?
What?
The first one was, while attuned to this artifact, you are blinded when you are more than 10 feet away from it. which makes it absolutely no sense.
Take off his hand, now he's blind forever.
Take off my hand. I die.
You die if you take off the hand?
Same with the shroud.
What?
Yeah, there's no turning back.
No!
That's right.
No.
Before we all started being truthful, Molfin never told you all that part.
Yeah.
I think you told us about the shroud,
Final Fantasy.
but not Vecna's hand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that we knew that if we took off the shroud, it would kill you, because it's like...
Yeah, that's a good point. You all woke up right after he was doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's gonna come a point where like Molfin's
So now
all
you're
said
gonna
and
just be
done,
double dead
he's
if
done
you-
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Molfin gonna have like a beautiful narrative ending where like it's all said and done and he's avenged all of his family and he's like, he has, Moby and everything back again, and finally he just, peacefully just cuts off the hand and dies happily.
Who knows?
That's what I hope is your ending.
Oh, we'll see if he gets happy.
We've got an epic ending for each of you. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but we're building up
I'm
to
gonna
it.
die fighting Vecna.
I'm fighting Molfin the Raven Queen.
How did this happen?
Delivering an object.
Molfin has Asmodeus and the Raven Queen, so like we're sharing one.
And
Lachlan
I'm
is
not gonna help
replacing the
with
eyeball of a beholder.
Oh, yeah.
Level 20.
Whew, so Molfin, you're hungry.
Molfin's going to go over and just start grabbing a bowl of food and just...
Yeah. You're gonna spend most of your downtime eating and drinking.
Like a panda or something.
Oh my god.
I'm going to buy a bag of Camelback. It's like a bag of holding, but it holds liquid.
So you need Diana to create food and water every single day.
I am going to need to keep Hero's Feast prepped.
Oh, here's an interesting question. Would Goodberry help in this situation?
Oh, what's Goodberry?
Can you
It,
post it in the
it
chat
makes
for us?
somebody full for one day.
It makes them full for one day.
Mm-hmm.
But the specifics of this detrimental property say you have to eat 6 times what you would normally consume. So
Well, I think I can create
Logic would
more
say
than...
that would mean I'd have to eat 6 good berries then?
Well, I can
Yeah.
create 10.
Welcome to Goodberry.
provides
So if I
enough
create
nourishment
10
to sustain a creature for one day. So basically, you would have to you could use that, but you'd have to eat 6 good berries a day. Whereas Callista, the rest of the group, they only have to eat 1, and they have the sustenance that they need to last a day. But you,
Okay.
unfortunately, even good berries, you're gonna have to munch on.
That's fine. I will do that depending on where we are. At least we have that as a backup because it's a first level spell that I can maintain.
Unless Molfin goes rogue and starts hunting elk like
Right.
a wolf.
Right.
Yes.
I don't have it prepared today, but I can prepare it tomorrow.
I can always go back to town and buy some more rations if need be.
Oh my gosh.
But it's
So, Mol,
yes.
what else does that thing do while we're at it?
If you'd really like a demonstration,
No.
I don't mean like that. Don't. Molfin's going to reach down and pick up a small stone. Say, watch. Actually, better idea. Molfin, come here. And he's going to call over his simulacrum and hand the small stone to the simulacrum and have the simulacrum try to throw the stone.
Okay.
And then Molfin Prime is going to pick up pick up a stone of similar size and throw it.
Okay. So what are you trying to do?
Demonstrate strength.
Oh, just strength.
Just straight distance, yep.
Okay. Let me check something really quick. Okay, have Molfin the second make just a standard strength. Well, we'll call this athletics because it's kind of like a baseball kind of throw.
Okay.
Go ahead and make
So-
one for Molfin the second and one for regular Molfin. Molfin Prime. Regular Molfin. Sounds so weird. I can't.
Yeah,
It's so hard to describe.
because the regular one's the one with the evil artifacts, right?
So, Molfin the second.
Throws it. It rolls a 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aw.
Molfin the second goes to throw. The stone barely makes it. Across the room. It rattles across the floor a little bit. And then Molfin
Nice
Prime
throw.
gets set up to throw his stone. And throws it much farther. It bounces off the floor, ends up sliding across the floor a little bit, and then hits the end of the wall on the other side of the room.
All right.
Okay.
Nice
So-
hand.
But
You're a great pitcher.
I am much stronger now.
Okay.
Also, then, one would say my strength has managed to meet my intellect.
Interesting. And that's it? You're just stronger now. Like you don't like have to like heed any of Vecna's orders or whatever
No,
as
it has
a
the
cost.
It has the same well, not the same. It has similar arcane abilities to the shroud I wear. There are a
I'm
number
still
of
very lost on the
enchantments I can
shroud.
cast out of it. But
I'm still a little bit lost. Like, what's the negatives? What's like the potentiality here
well, ever since this,
of losing
thing
Molfin
attached
to the
to me,
dark
it's-
side?
I'm hungrier now. Speaking of
Okay.
which,
Whoa.
give me a moment. Going over to get another bowl of stew and come back over.
Yeah.
It's
All right then.
but as with anything, if I abuse the arcane abilities of it, there's always the chance to, I suppose one would say, temporarily submit to the dark side, but no more so than there was beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start summoning devils. and
Diana,
whatnot.
didn't you roll like really good on a religion check whenever you looked at that Vecna symbol?
Yes.
I did.
'Cause you-
I rolled high on a religion check, and then there was something else, I think, that I rolled like a legend lore on, and it had a lot to do with the hand, I think.
Go ahead and make. Let's call this a history check with advantage,
Oh, okay. Ooh, I'm proficient.
and see if you can recall something.
There's one.
That's good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's good. You're not sure where you heard it or who you heard it from, but Vecna has the ability to basically take and rip someone's soul from them. And you're not sure who you heard it from, but there's always a risk involved with anything attached to something this evil, that object could allow someone to basically lose their soul. And it's not like Molfin was describing it as a temporary thing. This one, however, you believe to not be.
This is a hostage situation, Molfin. It has upgraded.
It's not upgraded. It's always been this way.
The threat level has upgraded on
Which is
crap that
why
Molfin gets into.
Which is why very few people have ever been able to obtain the hand and the eye. Because
one of them
usually consumes them before they can find the other object.
So,
Is Diana this?
Molfin, there are two really scary options here. You probably know this already, but that thing, if it gets a mind of its own, will try to rip your soul out if given the opportunity, and that is permanent. That is also, there's two scary options here. Either we bide our time with just that for as long as we can, or we find the eye and give it to you, but I don't know how either of those things sound. In my head, that's what I'm thinking. Like, because it's gonna kill him if he doesn't.
Here's the thing also. His soul is already forfeit to Asmodeus.
Point.
How is Vecna? So Vecna and Asmodeus are going to have a problem fighting over his soul.
This finally paid off.
The plot thickens. The plot thickens.
As when I
Oh my god.
when I called out to that demon lord, Orcus, back when we were attempting to anger the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
So we found out it is my soul cannot be taken or offered to any other individual as Asmodeus holds it. So I would like to see Vecna attempt to take my soul.
No!
What's gonna happen to everybody in like a 60-foot radius? We're all gonna get smoked.
So what you mean? So you're the only person in the whole world probably who can hold that item, and Vecna can't do nothing to you.
I mean, he
for it.
might be able to do something, but I'm not sure he's able to take Molfin's soul. I'm not saying that Vecna can't harm
His mortal body, I mean, yeah.
Right.
Oh my god.
It is pretty calculated, I will say, on multiple parts.
These are so many layers.
You guys seem to think that technically, yes, Vecna could take Molfin's soul, but
he would start before.
Then there might be some implications to that, depending on what the clause in the contract says for Vecna devouring your soul.
Yeah.
How does it go? Is it like Asmodeus and then Vecna, or is it like Vecna down here and then Asmodeus up here? And then where's Orcus? You know?
Orcus never entered into it. When I attempted to...
The way they believe,
traverse.
Diana, they're all on top.
Yeah.
That's the way they believe.
And we don't have to kill Orcus.
You would know this, Diana, because any truly evil entity always believes everything revolves around them.
That's true. Narcissism.
That's it. It's all about them. They don't care about anybody else.
Lit. Lit.
Could be.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way.
Nice.
Either way, it will be interesting to see what happens. Just have to be mindful and not use the arcane aspects of this unless dire need requires it.
Okay.
But at bare minimum, the additional strength will come in handy.
As you guys are finishing up this conversation, you see Clarion re-enter the room. He finds you guys over.
I throw a robe over Molfin's hand.
Throw a robe over Molfin's hand. And, Clarion seems to approach, still a little sluggishly. Looks towards Callista. I found a place. I think I know it'll be safe there.
Thank you. If and when we figure out what exactly to do, I'll let you know. But for now, I feel like it's safest in your hands.
What are you hiding behind your? What are you hiding behind you?
I want to use my mage hand to scoot the severed hand, like under
I
Massive pool of blood on the floor.
I kind of imagine like Lachlan like holding Molfin's hand
Poor
behind his back.
Clarion.
He's like,
Oh my god!
I have prestidigitation for the blood, I think.
okay. Yeah, but come. No matter. This place is a wreck anyway. It's destroyed in here. It'll take me forever to get this place cleaned up. So what is it? What's next for all of you?
I have a question.
What a question. More loaded than you think.
Is everything okay, Diana?
You know, yeah. I'm fine.
Well, I must
We're
say
all
I'm
fine.
I must say I'm glad that your soul has been freed.
Yeah. Yep, me too. What a life. What a life I can live now.
She's like, yeah, that problem solved, but a million others just popped up.
Souls are
I was
important.
gonna say, I'm so glad that my soul is freed and that others people's aren't. So others people's are not, so that way they can not die. Anyways. Yeah. Everything's great. Everything's fine.
We're good.
We're great.
You guys are acting very strange, I must say, but I know you've seen and done a lot. I
Yeah.
understand. I'm just still extremely grateful that you sent for help.
Thank you. Yeah.
I would have done it sooner, but I have the power at the time.
It's understandable. It's okay. I mean, you do what you can.
I think are we going back to get that con?
I don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've just got, I would say, God on our side, but
Yes.
yeah. We got a lot going on.
Molfin's
Why
gonna
not?
look at
I am.
Callista and cast message
There you go.
Okay.
and says, "Do we not trust him? Is it not wise for him to know what he is dealing with when it comes to me?"
Yeah, I just don't want to make you uncomfortable, but I personally would prefer that he going.
Molfin's going to turn sort of over his shoulder, look up at Clarion and say, "Clarion, you should know the truth," and pulls off the hat of disguise.
Okay.
Ta-da!
He looks upon you and he sees your new face shrouded in darkness. Do you have gloves on yet?
Probably not.
Do you pull off the little robe that Diana put over your hand?
Oh. Yes, Molfin is being forthright with Clarion.
Well, Clarion seems to look suspicious towards you, and he just kind of looks and says, "Did the Lich take your hand?"
No, I took her shroud,
You took her
and
shroud.
then I took someone else's hand.
And you've affixed it to yourself.
Yes.
Huh. You must be careful, Molfin.
So I seem to be getting told quite frequently.
You've changed.
We have a lot.
Seems that there's a perpetual shadow always above you. You must be careful that it doesn't spread to your friends. And he looks to the rest of the group.
Molfin will turn and glance at the rest of them. While the shadow may seem to surround me, it is the light that has kept me where I am at the moment. I count on them to, well,
That's good.
on all of us to see this through to the end.
That's good. That's very good. But just be reminded. And he looks back at his broken building, his treasure hoard, the chaos that's behind him, the smashed sculptures, just everything around the room. And he just kind of gestures with his hand kind of past him to look beyond him. Just be reminded of this scene. This is what darkness does. And he looks at all of you, the rest of the group. Someone's got to keep it at bay.
We're working.
He kind of sighs a little bit and looks down the rest of it. Is that blood on the floor? This,
Lachlan, you missed a spot.
he just
Severing a hand.
It's so stupid.
Molfin starts looking around. Do I see my hand anywhere?
I may still have it.
I think it's like floating 10 feet above your heads,
Oh.
and Lachlan's got his mage hand. He's just
It's
like
just dripping.
It's just dripping occasional drops
Let
of
it
blood.
go!
Molfin's going to take his, pick up his staff and try to, like, knock it out of the mage hand up towards Clarion, over towards Clarion.
Clarion dodges it. Oh, that's just disgusting. And he starts walking away and heads towards the food that's being cooked on the other side of the room.
Molfin, are you gonna keep it?
I wonder.
Get it like embalmed.
Don't.
The hand of Molfin.
Don't.
This isn't like a cat that just shows up on your porch, guys. Are you gonna keep it? Oh, that's-
It's your hand. What are you doing?
Molfin,
It's a
no.
biohazard.
No, hear me out. It's just a thought here.
I know what your thought is, and I don't like it.
But if I can cast Animate Dead on it, perhaps we can have a little crawling friend.
Oh my god! Rick and the Addams family. Oh my god.
But if we burn the flesh
Molfin-
off it first, it can be a little skeleton thing so it doesn't smell all foul.
Molfin,
I vote yes.
You firmly believe that you have the magical capabilities to do this.
I see this.
You know what? It's time that we start cutting loose and having fun. I vote yes.
Wow.
The cleric of
Let's
Elmander
abuse our powers.
votes yes.
Yeah, I mean the example that's been set.
Ashlyn grabs Diana's hand and starts slowly pulling it down. she
No!
vetoes it in chat.
That's on the product of being trained by Dorn.
Right over. Well, I suppose it is my hand. I should be able to keep it if I want to.
What is the plan going forward, though? Are we going to get this conch and then gathering allies to bring them with us?
Well, here's the better question. Are we dealing with the remaining giants and goblins and ogres and everything else you saw at Iron Slag? Are we going to the cloud giants that we agreed to take care of at the Eye of the Allfather?
Do we know if there's more than one conch? Like, is this the one we're looking for, or is there another?
I thought the one that we were looking for had a specific name.
When you guys were at the Eye of the Allfather before, if you remember right, there were multiple because I believe Molfin chose this particular giant lord. So there are more.
Okay.
There are multiple conches, usually found within. They're owned by the giant lords.
And if we solve this thing, I wonder, like, are all the giant lords still targets? Are they still trouble, or just?
It depends if we solve the issue and have someone seated at the throne of Hekaton, they become the powers that be to these people. So
maybe it's like a peaceful solution to the cloud giants.
yes, if all we need is someone of strong enough character to be seated on the throne of the Storm King.
Oh.
Don't look at me like that. I refer not to myself.
No, it's gonna be me.
Molfin 2 has to nominate you.
I'm gonna use it to get rid of the. That's mine.
Callista will be the one, as she says, to sit on the throne.
Nice.
And the giants will fall in line, or they will be destroyed.
Do I get to be like a knight in this new thing?
You want to be a knight and the cobra?
Sure, why not? It's okay to be ambitious, right?
Sure.
Yes.
I would like to be, I don't know, Grand Maester. I don't know.
Okay, we'll get to that when we cross that bridge.
Now, before we go do this, I'm late for a delivery. I don't know if we have time.
Right,
to go
I was gonna ask, do we want to either gather, I hate to say this, the capable Zhentarim in Everlund for this task, or
We've all changed.
You guys have, I mean, complete change here. This campaign has changed all of you.
No, Callista's, well, maybe Callista's thinking they're like meat shields, so yes.
I think the only one who hasn't changed is Lachlan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The same
He's
boy
still a
used to be.
little thief.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wait, what?
Oh, man.
When do we need to get this eye thing done? Now?
Well,
It seems.
if we can get it there and back, I would not mind aiding my grandson and his wife.
Yeah, but he's still gonna be in
You're
debt.
my great-grandson, Lachlan. I mean, your father.
Oh. I'm not so good at,
Yeah, but Lachlan, you're still going to be in debt to this thing.
Yeah, but at that point, it's just my debt, and we're making tons of, wealth selling paintings and beehives. So I'm not really.
Let's fight a beholder.
I'm just saying.
We can't fight him.
Why?
I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
have an eye.
Yeah, but I mean, he's, I
One day
work
he might
for
get
him.
an eye.
I'm not gonna just murder him in cold blood.
You like working for him?
Well, no, but I mean,
Well, then.
you don't
He's
just
a
kill
bad-
people
okay,
because you're annoyed by them. Or wait,
No,
I guess sometimes we do that, right?
Have you met me, Lachlan?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want? Do you see yourself working for this guy long term? Do you want to, like, he's not even part of the Zhentarim, is he?
I see an easy solution to this. I give him his eye. My parents are off the hook. And then I owe him a little bit of that. It's easy to pay off. And then, done. I'm free man.
Oh.
Simple and easy,
Okay. Don't like it, if that's what you do.
I also am, a little bit worried about the idea of giving an eye to a beholder. But, what else can I do?
Not?
I mean, at some point he's gonna come looking for it. He knows that I'm supposed to go do this.
Hmm. Well, how long will it take to realistically deliver this item?
Well, we have to get there. We have to go see Taz. And then just drop it off. Quick and easy.
How far is Ironslag from Water?
Pretty far.
Pretty far.
Complete
I think it was,
opposite
what was it, a
sides of the
7? Yeah, wasn't it a 7-day journey?
map. Yep, at least. Let me zoom out a little bit and.
Yeah, because we didn't have the airship there. We had to go north.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
upper right-hand corner to the bottom, like left-hand corner.
Yeah.
So Waterdeep is way down here, way up there is Ironslag. So we're looking at like 700 miles. That's
like
a
at least
and that's a
9-10
straight
days.
line.
Right.
Yeah.
The other possibility is maybe we find a way to send a good excuse why I'm taking. Oh, delays in shipping.
Well, here's another option, depending. Although this may or may not be the wisest idea, but if we... what's the word I'm looking for? Divide and conquer. And Callista, if
Split
you
the
know
party?
of a tree... Unfortunately, if Callista knows of a tree in Waterdeep,
I do.
she can open her doorway. Lachlan and myself and whoever else can jump through to deliver the eye.
Clopity in chat says this is a bad idea.
Let's party.
It is always a bad idea, my dear.
Oh yeah, Sarah could just jog there. She,
Yeah, she's.
But if we go there and deliver it, and then I can cast teleportation circle to bring us back to here. So we can have it done in less than a day, potentially. That being said, we could do it all together and then leave. The concern is what happens if that floating beach ball decides to get angry once he has the eye, which we have enchanted with the ability to negate magic. Rather limits what I can do.
Oh, that's what we all can do.
Well, yeah, well, I wonder how this would work in that situation.
I mean, he's been a pretty stand-up guy thing.
Couldn't we message someone in Waterdeep to go fetch it and just deliver it for us?
Can we trust them with something that,
Well, if we go back to Everlund, I'm sure I can get Townley to do it, and he knows what as is. It will cost us a good deal of coin, but it will get him back home.
Lachlan, make an intelligence check for me.
Uh-oh. It's a little scary. Intelligence.
These days, every roll is scary.
You're not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll let Molfin, you can make this check too. I think Molfin would probably have a hunch on this one.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so what are we doing? Just intelligence?
Base intelligence, yeah. You think that Taz is much stronger of a arcane user than she makes herself out to be? And you have a hunch in the back of your mind that she's not going to trust giving this thing to just anybody.
Ooh.
Especially something that cost this much money and invested this much time into this object. And it has a pretty powerful magical property. I mean, it negates magic.
Huh. That eye you enchanted. You asked it, is it always on?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Would we know that? Would Molfin have any idea on whether or not that is always functioning?
Not 100% sure. I mean, you guys don't have a lot of vast knowledge on beholders, but...
Well, no, I mean the one we enchanted, that we had Taz enchant. Would we know,
fake
would
one,
Taz
yeah.
have enchanted that so that it is just always radiating?
Like
And
a
anything-
spotlight.
And that's pretty much the way you guys described her enchantment. So that's probably the enchantment that she's
What
putting
if we
on.
did it wrong and Aldog doesn't like it? No, no.
Well, Okay, this is a question for the DM because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
A simulacrum will last until dispelled. Would walking into a null magic field, it's not a dispel, would it be able to walk into the field?
I will have to research that. That would be that'd be a question to throw at Jeremy Crawford. I'm sure this has happened before, so I will have to look into it.
In the instance of the story, and why the hell not?
Yeah.
Molfin will look at the group and say, well, I don't think Taz would just hand over something that we spent 25,000 gold on. So, perhaps we go back to Everlund, we hire Townley and my friends again, and Molfin looks over at Molfin. We ask you to take another journey. As Taz knows me, she, of course, will recognize my second for what it is, or what you are. Do I call you what or it? I don't know. We've never had this discussion before. But suffice to say, we will have Molfin the Second travel with them to collect the item, and then proceed to your friend Aldok. Perhaps claiming you are viciously injured in some way. Perhaps you lost an eye attacked by a dragonborn.
It might be out of character. It might be okay because he gave you like an iron box, right? To put it in. So
Yeah, I
would
wonder
the
if the
anti-magic
box-
go through the box?
I do not know.
Okay.
I have not had any experience with such enchantments, but it is worth a shot.
What could possibly go wrong?
Are we bringing anyone with us to the flying castle?
I don't necessarily think the Zhentarim that I hired will be on board with assaulting a giant's castle.
For the right amount of coin, they might be.
I have already spent a good deal on them.
We have a lot of money,
Ironic.
Molfin.
Fair enough. So it's... I mean, one can certainly try. But one way or another, I think we should at least head back to Everlund. Once you have done with Clarion. And then see where we go from there.
How many of the Emerald Enclave?
How many are here?
Yeah.
Looks to be about 8.
Do they all seem pretty capable? Or are they all lower level adventure?
You would probably say Ani herself doesn't look pretty. It looks she looks well armored and looks kind of like a knight. She resembles a
Okay.
knight. Has some really heavy chainmail armor that she wears. She has this a long sword kind of sheathed over her back. She has this massive shield that she carries. One of them happens to be one of the members of the Emerald Enclave happen to be kind of like a the word escaped my mind. Like not a scribe, but
A historian. No.
somebody that's
Secretary.
somebody that's with her basically all the time. A squire. That's what I wanted to say.
Squire.
A squire seems to be there. It looks like one of them is a priest of some sort or some kind of spellcaster,
Okay.
but they don't
Then
look
I won't
like
even-
look like adventurers. You know, they don't look
Okay.
like you
Then
guys.
Okay.
They look like your base run-in-the-mill members of the Emerald Enclave.
Okay, never mind. I was just
We're
saying
not
what.
dealing with the top brass.
So what's the plan, guys? What are you guys gonna do here? Seems Clarion is just kind of munching on some stew. The rest of the group is just kind of relaxing a little bit. Clarion's just striking up a little bit of conversation with the rest of the Emerald Enclave. The Emerald Enclave, a couple of the members find it just pretty astounding of Clarion's abilities to be able to look the way he does, being, an adult silver dragon. So a lot of them express their curiosities and just talk to him a little bit about, that's basically just asking him what it's like to be a dragon,
No. Does he still have the sending stone?
He still does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. From what you know, yeah, he still has it.
Then I guess, our plan is to go to Everlund, task these guys with Molfin II to go to Waterdeep.
Perhaps I should have words with Crow and Valharo. See if the Hoppers can offer anything.
You'd wear the hat, right?
I suppose. Although if... I do not know which way is better. For if they are to go into battle with us, the hat will not be on me, as I would need to be able to remain attuned to my staff.
I suppose I could go talk to him in your place. But yeah, they're gonna find out eventually.
Maybe better to find out up front rather than in the midst of battle.
Should I tell my temple about any of this? Or... like, at least about Dorn?
I mean, how deep does the corruption go?
Yeah, like, are we dealing with, a whole, Hydra grew back inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. type thing?
I have not seen a Hydra wielding a shield before, but...
No. Sorry, out of character. This could be a
I
Hydra
couldn't
shield
help
thing.
it. Molfin
Maybe?
just sort of look at you. It's hard to know. You did mention that there was another individual at your temple that was rather displeased
Keen
with
on-
me.
Yeah, keen on either stopping you or killing you. So they could, those two, that man was very powerful. He, not powerful, but he was higher up in the rankings. What would you say it was? If this were the Catholic Church, and there was the Pope and the archbishops and the rest of them, where would he be, Michael?
With the temple being in Waterdeep, he's probably the top.
Okay.
Oh.
So he's
He's
important.
like the Pope. Yeah.
He is the Pope of Waterdeep.
Ooh.
He
Avoid
is
him.
And a little and
the
just
most-
sort of...
Okay, Molfin, he's the most powerful, not powerful, he's the most important man of my church in Waterdeep, in that city. So, if he has it out for you, that's bad.
Perhaps
If
you and
he's
I
in
should have a
cahoots-
conversation with him.
Perhaps, to find out if he's in cahoots with Dorn or not. If he doesn't know anything about Dorn's true nature, then maybe he can be persuaded that we're not, like I was, that we're not doing anything particularly evil, just very roundabout way of... It's not evil, it's a roundabout way of doing good. That's what I'm telling myself. And he might be persuaded, or we might find out that he is in cahoots with Dorn, and either he pretends to not be and then goes and reports everything to Dorn, or he tries to kill us.
Callista, what do you think?
Solar is his name. Solar.
It makes me nervous to cause more trouble in Waterdeep, the place I need to return to for Anna.
Well, my thought is... Okay, let's... New thought. Perhaps you wear the Hat of Disguise. We all return to Waterdeep via... There must be a tree somewhere, perhaps near the cemetery.
Yes,
There must
City
be
of the
one
Dead
in the
have lots
city
of
that you could find.
That's where I was going to go if we were going to go to Waterdeep, would be City of
So, you proceed to wear the Hat of Disguise and look however you'd feel. If we all take this little jaunt back, we can have Lachlan and Ashlyn deal with the eye.
Maybe Ashlyn should wear the Hat of Disguise in Waterdeep.
I forgot about that. That is a valid point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys ruined your...
Yeah, you guys would
We're
know
wanted.
that Ashlyn is a wanted individual in Waterdeep. Her portrait mugshot has been sketched and probably placed on many posters.
Yeah, so she would need to wear the Hat of Disguise if we ever go back to Waterdeep.
And Callista,
Unless she and I just go down
you
to
would know
Skullport.
that
Yeah.
Callista, you would know from your time spent with Anna that if somebody wrongs a noble, it's not just the city guard and the city watch that are looking for you.
It's all them.
They hire out people as well.
Yeah.
You would know this.
Sarah's laughing.
I hate noble people.
So there might be
What-
bounty hunters looking for her
Would
right
Molfin
now.
know? Did he get tagged as well, or was he spared that because he's not the one who technically struck them?
You would still be wanted, but your sketch is a little bit more vague than Ashlyn's because of your get-up. Like, oh,
They
so we
never
got a
saw
guy
your
wearing
face,
a
they
hood
always
and a
watched
ninja
your
mask. So they didn't technically
They
ever
never
see
saw
your
your
face.
face.
Yeah.
So you could just, like, illusions? I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking about magic I don't know about.
Illusion is not my strength, but I can always make myself scarce magically until we get there. But if we all go back to
Fancy.
Waterdeep, we need to agree that we cannot be there more than a day,
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
if even that long. That will give Lachlan and Ashlyn time to deliver the eye. And I would be honest where they should have little problem dealing with that. But I can always send the second with them.
Oh, yeah.
I would feel better with Callista joining us to speak with this Solar.
Yes.
As that way it's, well, one more safeguard against overreaction, but
Yeah.
also if he does decide to become hostile, we have another heavy hitter with us.
I'll probably prepare Zone of Truth, so that way when we get in there, he knows that we're telling everything honestly, and he has to tell everything honestly too.
Yeah.
Do you think Ralda's going to want to settle back in Waterdeep, or is...
Well,
Well, if-
that's
Good luck with
why.
Clarion.
We
Here's
would
the
not
thing.
be able to bring him back through the tree if we have Ashlyn wearing the Hat of Disguise. A Dryda appearing out of the middle of the
Yeah.
cemetery would cause
No
alarm.
trees in Skullport?
I don't think so.
There was a lovely young woman selling zombies.
No trees, but zombies.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any trees in Skullport.
Yeah.
Unless we plant one.
No, I wanted to use that to plant it when we actually have a space that we call our own.
Fair enough. It's on the outskirts of Waterdeep, apparently.
Yes.
Fort Molfinite.
Fort Molfin.
So here's the thing. Do we even need to go back to Everlund at this point?
Well, if you wish to obtain the... only if you think we should speak with Crowan.
I say we could put that on the back burner for now and go to Everlund later. I say...
we can spend some time here and then report us to...
We're only spending a day in Waterdeep, right?
Well, that's correct. So, well, actually,
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It's like
It's
early evening?
Yeah, it'd be evening, probably about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Best for us to rest here and then... unless you think entering the town under cover of darkness through the cemetery.
No, because I believe
Guards
they
will love
shut.
that.
I think they shut the gates of the City of the Dead after a certain curfew time.
Yeah, I think just after dark, I think they...
Yeah,
Shut
so
the
no,
gates.
we would have to go in the early morning to go to the City of the Dead. But I'm just calculating how many days it's going to be. So if we can get back to the airship within the next day or 2 days, we're still on the same time to get back to them. So we can at least tell them where to go or use the airship to go to your beacon for the castle.
Yes, this will work. So if we leave in the morning to Waterdeep, and then... trying to think here. Leave for the Waterdeep, and then... would you be able to move us via plant again the same day?
No, I would need to rest for 8 hours, so...
So we would have to go to Waterdeep and then leave Waterdeep. So we would end up going back to Everlund, as that's one of the few places I can get us to. Unless you'd rather go to Daggerford.
No, Everlund...
Daggerford, we could check
Daggerford
with
would
the
be
temple.
interesting.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Yep, exactly.
So we go to Waterdeep, then Daggerford, then back to the airship. Is that the plan?
Maybe I shouldn't have said Daggerford.
Well, that's up to you, Molfin.
I have no issues with it. My concerns are for others. As
Well,
the second has said, he obtained what he went for and then fled, leaving the gods to deal with it.
For
I mean, the
all
whole
they
town
know.
could be gone.
let's go to Waterdeep first, deal with this. And then depending on how things change in Waterdeep, we go to Everland or Dagger via teleportation.
Yes.
We will rest wherever we go, and then in the morning I will take us back to the airship. So in 2 days we'll be back.
Beautiful.
Good?
So, I guess
Diana,
in the
can you
morning-
message my father and let him know what's going on?
So in the morning, it seems
I
we are
also
to...
did not prepare a message.
Well, prepare it for tomorrow morning and let him know in the morning what's going on, because we've technically only been gone like less than a day, so it's fine.
Okay.
You guys
Okay.
keep asking Diana to cast spells, and she's like,
Always
I
keep
just
message,
changed
Diana!
that out in the morning.
I'm sorry!
Sending.
I mean, do you want message so I can tell you where things are, or do you want like mass healing words so you can... Oh wait, I did the wrong. Message
Keep
isn't a
sending.
cantrip.
Sending, right?
No, it's
Sarah in
sending.
chat is true.
Oh, yeah.
Diana's mom is okay. So you know the whole town
Yeah.
isn't slaughtered.
Okay.
And then, before Molfin turns in for the night, he is actually going to burn,
Oh, no.
use a couple of hours' time
Okay.
with 2 out of those 4 envelopes.
Okay.
And I'll send you the information on those.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything before you pull out your bedrolls and get yourself all cozied up for the evening's rest?
I would ask Clarion if, in the near future, when we manage to get the magical conch, if he'd be interested or if he knew of capable people that we could bring with us to go to the court of the Titan or the giants.
He kind of looks at you, and there's a little bit of worry in his face. I just have a feeling like I would put you in danger. You see, even us metallics, the giants don't fully trust us.
Do you have people in
I
mind?
could put you in a negative situation right off the bat. The dwarves, they might be able to help.
Where are they?
Which of those dwarves was I on my main mission with? As
I
the
remember
dungeon
that.
master.
Yeah,
looks
I remember them.
when
It's been a while.
When you guys first ran into Clarion aboard.
Wow,
Yeah.
back when he
tower.
attacked Zephyr's tower, yeah.
He
Yeah.
was on a mission
Sorry.
from Queen Dagnabbit
Oh, right. That's
From-
such a weird
from Mithril Hall.
brawl hall.
He said that the queen might be able to help. And he gives you kind of the general location of where Mithril Hall is. And I'm going to shift, well, don't hide areas, reveal areas there, Dungeon Master. I'm going to shift ping you to where Mithril Hall is. It's right here,
Oh, okay.
which is basically kind of between, like kind of northwest
Vault.
of Everlund and right north of the Evermoors, where
Mm-hmm.
Molfin's Cloud Giant GPS is still pinging. So that's the location that he gives you of that, and you know, you remember that he was on a mission from the Queen. Basically, he owed her a favor and was transporting these dwarves to take care of these Cloud Giant towers and castles and such.
Okay. That's good.
Would be handy.
Anybody else doing anything before you bed down?
Apparently, Sarah's commented that Ashton would be awake when Molfin was and she trances.
Okay.
So she might have an idea what Molfin's doing.
All right. Perfect. And while you guys are getting all nestled in, I think this is the perfect place for us to stop for the evening. So, yeah. Craziness, folks. Craziness.
Wow.
So yeah, let's how about a nat 20 for us? Anybody want to vote on a nat 20 for this evening?
Jeez.
Diana.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'd have to say
Yeah.
I'm voting Diana too.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That was intense.
She's shook.
Shook, amazing role play. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Diana, that role play in that scene was just amazing. That was good. You were
Oh, he said
invested into
sorry
it.
to Molfin, and then Molfin's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. You're like, oh, oh, okay.
I wasn't expecting it like now, you know. I was thinking he was
Yeah.
gonna hold on to
Yeah.
it for a while, and then like when a more like opportune time came along, or when he like desperately needed to, he was gonna put that on. But no, he just hacks his
No, he
arm
just-
off in Clarion's trophy room, basically.
That was your little hand. Next time someone asks Molfin for a hand, he's going to throw the hand at him.
Can you lend me a hand?
Lend you a hand? Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us for tonight's episode of Storm King's Thunder, episode 77. We will be back next week for episode 78. Stay tuned as our party continues to see how their plan is going to work out, as they're going to go do some traveling back to some towns to take care of some unfinished business. So make sure you guys tune in to that next Friday night. Thank you guys for hanging out with us once again, and the next time that you're hanging out with your buddies and the one guy gets an idea, he's going to hack off his hand and put this weird decrepit hand on. Yeah, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
No, you're gonna need it.
And please,
You're gonna need it.
just stop him. Just stop him.
That's I think it's supposed to start. He's just like,
And
like
Lachlan's like cheering him on. Yeah, you go, man.
Yeah, totally.
Hack it off. Hack it off. So you guys have a great night. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Okay, love you. Bye.